what is going on? Welcome to another episode of Row Hideout, the show where we hang out with artists, musicians, and entertainers in Waylon Jennings' old basement studio. My name is Jury, and as always, I'm gathered here with co-host Ryan Poole, who I'll pass it to introduce the guests.
Well, tonight, on a very special episode
The most special.
Row Hideout.
And highly anticipated.
This is actually a highly anticipated episode.
Oh.
True.
We have been waiting on this next guest for several, maybe even up to, what's after several?
Several more?
A double several amount of months. We have the one, the only, the 9L'd.
The 9.
First of her name, Abby Holliday.
Hello. It is me, Abby Holliday with 9 L's.
At least.
At least 9 L's.
And if you listen to our episode with Moony, I was about to call him Seth Moony.
I know, it's a struggle every
What
time.
is his last name? Does he even have one?
Do you not know it?
No, wait, it's Finley.
There
I
it
just
is.
remember.
Yep.
I want to call it, I'm like, he's Seth Holliday or he's Seth Moony.
Right.
Our episode with Moony, a.k.a. Seth Finley, but we call him Seth Moony.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Yep.
He talked a lot about our guest tonight, Abby, and his song that he
Kind of
opened with,
obsessed with her. It's kind of weird.
Holiday,
Yeah.
was based on your name.
Yes.
And so
me.
anyway, ever since then, like right away, we reached out to you to have you on the show, and
Yeah.
it just took a second. So we're so glad you're here.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Also, the only guest, probably the only guest who I've definitely sung their name in my car.
Over and over. It is an honor to have a song with my name in it. Yeah.
It's true, and it's a good song. He loves
Thank
it.
you. It's a good one.
I do. It's one of my favorite songs we've ever had on the show.
It's so good. I'm biased, but yeah.
Just a little?
I was thinking about today, actually, when I heard it for the first time, because he never told me that he was writing it or anything, or that he would release it. And one day he was like, let me show you this song I've been working on. And he played it, and it was like, because I didn't know it was about me, and because it like wasn't mixed and stuff, I was having a hard time understanding what it was about until like almost the very end, and I like heard my name and I was like, wait, what? And yeah, it was special. But yeah.
Oh, man. So, I don't know, did you actually already explicitly say this? That they are together?
Oh yeah, he's my husband. That's why we're talking about him.
Yeah, that's the connection there. If we didn't explicitly say that yet, I wasn't sure. Otherwise, it sounds real creepy.
And he wasn't when we did the show. It was an upcoming event.
Yes.
Right.
And I had joked with him like, oh, it's going to be like open bar, open invite. And so then like he was posting about it on Instagram, and I kept like messaging like, I'll be there. It's like, I'm there for your open bar, open invite wedding. You said so on the show.
Yep. Every now and then he would say that. He's like, if you can figure out where it is, you can come. So
How was the wedding? Was it good?
it was great. It was so fun. I feel like everything went just about like as well as it could have. So it was a blast.
That's awesome.
It was so fun.
Where'd you guys go for your honeymoon?
We went to Hawaii.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Is Hawaii coming back?
Maybe. I feel like, I don't know. We went to Maui. Neither of us had ever been to Hawaii. And it was beautiful. Like some of the prettiest places I've ever seen and been to. I feel like have you guys seen White Lotus, first of all?
Mm-mm.
The
I
show.
don't think so.
Okay.
No.
I think it's kind of new. I think the first season came out like
I've heard of it.
2 years
I
ago
hear
or
it's
something, but it's been like super popular. So we watched it on our way to Hawaii, like on the plane. We downloaded it. And the whole first season is about a couple that goes to Maui on their honeymoon.
Ooh.
And shit goes wrong, basically.
So is it a drama show?
It's like
Okay,
it's a
not
drama.
a comedy. It's not like hilarity ensues.
It's like a little bit of both, honestly,
Okay.
like comedy, drama, and so we were kind of in like a weird headspace, like watching that on the way to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I feel like what a big thing that we got out of the trip was like Hawaii should be, it just feels like its own country in so many ways. Like you go there, they have like their local language, local people, but at the same time it like you see establishments that are just everywhere here in the States as well, because it is a part of the States. But
McDonald's.
yeah, right. Taco Bell, all that stuff. But I feel like you can almost like feel the tension of
Oh, sure.
there's tourists here all the time and it like fuels the economy. That's just like the way that it is, but you can feel the tension of like this should be its own. It just feels like it should be its own country.
Right. And when you look at it on a map and you see
It's
like
so far away.
it's not like right off the coast.
No.
It's halfway across the world.
We took a 10-hour flight to get there. It was like so far.
But it hasn't been a state
but-
that long. Right? Wesley, when was Hawaii made a
50s.
state?
Okay, I'm going to guess. Before Wesley can pull it up, I'm going to guess
54.
52. Now I'm feeling like 53 or 51.
55.
What are you going, 55?
Shit, the
Are we playing
Price
Price is Right
me.
rules?
Yeah. 59.
Okay.
So it's only been a state for like a minute.
Less
Yeah.
than my
Yeah.
dad's been alive.
It's got to be is it the newest state?
I would assume.
I can't imagine we had any more states in the 60s.
Alaska was sooner. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Wesley, check Alaska. I'm going 53 again for Alaska.
We're going 54.
actually.
54. I'm not changing my
thinking
guess.
my number was from Alaska. That's what I'm hoping.
That's too small. I'm too
I
blind.
can't
What,
re- I
59
cannot read
also?
Yeah, it's zoom.
Oh.
It was
same
also
time.
59.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So
1959, they were like,
there we go.
hey, Russia, could we?
Scroll down a bit.
We're looking at the screen. August 21st for
But,
Hawaii.
but
and
Hawaii
January 3rd
is
for
the last
Alaska.
one.
Oh,
Hawaii
wow.
is the
Yeah.
At
last.
least we were right about something.
Yeah.
First time.
I noticed that when we went to Hawaii together
Yeah, a few
along
years
with
ago.
his wife,
Okay.
and I'm very close with his wife.
Right. It's like you've known her like forever.
Forever.
Or something. Yeah.
And almost like I know her longer than you.
Like a sister. Would you? even
She's
say?
like a sister to me. Yeah,
Love
she
you
is.
like a sister. Like LYLAS.
I do not love her like a sister.
I'm going to take a long sip of my bourbon. So when we all went, we went for a friend's wedding,
Okay.
and I noticed that what you're saying at 7-Eleven.
Okay.
7-Eleven feels comfortable, feels like home, it's very American establishment. But they had all different stuff, and they had like Hawaiian food in their like food things, and they had like it was a very different 7-Eleven, and I was like, this is like a different country.
Yes. Same with the McDonald's. It was like you could get Spam at McDonald's, which we didn't, and I kind of wish we did. But
Some Spam Masubi.
yeah,
I love
just
Spam
like
Masubi.
different. All that being said, it was beautiful. We did this. What part of Hawaii were you guys in? Did you say that?
Oahu.
Okay. In Maui, there's like this big drive called the Road to Hana. And you just like drive around the coast through beautiful places. Like you can pull off, go to like different forests, and then you're like right by the coast and by the water. And that was probably my favorite part. But yeah, just stunning.
Ohana means family.
Yeah, all right.
Did you guys ever fuck around with the Disney Channel at all?
Oh gosh.
That's the extent of my Hawaiian.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, solid.
Okay. So I was saying, like, I wonder if Hawaii's coming back, air quotes, because one thing I've noticed is, like, when I was a kid, Hawaii was, like, always held up as, like, we're going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And then I feel like people in our generation, like, don't really talk about Hawaii. Like, it's not cool anymore. And everybody's like, oh, like Bali, oh, like Thailand, oh, St. Lucia.
Yeah.
And
Hawaii's
like,
pretty cool, though.
Hawaii's like all
It
old.
is.
But like, so Hawaii to me has this cool like mid-century flair to it where like that was the cool heydays of Hawaii. But when we went, it was awesome. And I kind of want Hawaii to become cool again. Like I would like to do my honeymoon in Hawaii and like be like early adopters of like the Hawaii's cool thing.
Well, I
Bring
think
it back.
Yeah,
we
let's bring
also
Hawaii back.
But we also grew up on the beach.
Yeah.
Probably less talked about there as well, I would guess. At least I always thought, I was never interested in Hawaii. Because I was like, I grew up in San Diego, it's the same.
Right.
And then I went there and I was like, this is not the same.
Yeah.
It is so cool.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was absolutely blown away.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
Now, speaking of where we're from, where are you from?
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
moved
Are you from the 613 area code?
513.
Okay.
It looks when my arm is bent, it does look like 613.
Oh, I did think that was a 6.
Yeah. But to be fair, we're from 619. So
Okay.
well, I don't know where you're from. I'm from San Diego.
Yeah.
Got you.
619.
Yeah. My friend gave this to me, stick and poke. He did a pretty good job.
Was it in prison?
It wasn't. I haven't been in prison, actually.
Not yet?
Yeah, not yet. Hoping
working on
someday.
it.
Well, I saw your newest song is it Ohio Laundry Room?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So I saw that and I was gonna like crack a joke about like, why are you writing songs about Ohio? Ha ha, because everybody hates
Because
Ohio.
Ohio is
But
a
that's where you're
joke.
from.
I'm from Ohio. Yeah.
How do you feel about the Ohio memes? Are you like,
I think they're so funny. I think they're really
But are
funny.
they accurate?
I mean, I get it. Like, Ohio is kind of somewhat forgettable, but where I'm from, Cincinnati, I think is such a cool city. Like, it's great. I love it in so
it's
many
really
ways.
interesting architecture.
Yeah. I think it's like, I like it better than Nashville in some ways. Not all of the ways, but
What ways?
I like it better than Nashville. I think it has really good food. That didn't do anything.
Fun. Side note, did you hear about your husband and that button?
No, what did he do?
I think we've mentioned this on every episode
We've mentioned
since.
it. I don't know if we've talked about it on the show or just to people. Like, we literally talk about him almost every episode beforehand with people because
Don't tell him.
that beep button, if I press it right now,
Yeah.
our headphones cut out, and so you think that it kills all the sound and
Oh.
only they can hear the beep, but it doesn't.
Oh,
It
okay.
actually, our sound is still saved, and the beep is just overlaid. So
Oh.
he made a joke at the end when we asked people like where they could find him on the internet. He held the button down. He's like, my address is, held the button down, and then proceeded to actually say his address.
But you guys could, so you guys could hear it? Or
No,
everyone,
it cuts out in our
everyone-
headphones too. We didn't even know that's how it worked at the
seems like
time.
you
Oh.
wouldn't be able to hear it, but really you can. So then when I
Okay.
put the episode live, I like reviewed them all like a psychopath afterwards, and I got to that point, and all of a sudden I heard you could hear his address.
That's
live
good
on
that
the
you
show.
did that.
So then I
Also,
like
my address.
yeah
Right.
So it was up for like an hour until I caught
so
it,
funny.
and then I pulled it down and killed that audio.
That's
So all that
funny.
to say, don't say
not a
things you
great-
don't want to hear under
That's
the bleep
not
button.
a great button.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have
Good to know.
warned every guest since.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
be
well-
like, FYI,
Yeah.
we had a guy.
We had this guy.
But Ohio and Cincinnati specifically,
Yeah.
apparently super awesome.
I love it. Yeah.
So I know I've said this a lot on the show, but my wife and I are considering moving somewhere, not Nashville, in the future. You've heard it every episode. I like to ask the guest, why would I move to where you're from?
Cheaper than Nashville to live in.
Okay, it's a lot of places are cheaper than Nashville.
Right. Yes. I'm working on it. Kings Island is an amusement park that's amazing. Do you like roller coasters?
I do. I like amusement parks.
Okay.
But I don't know, Disneyland, Six Flags. Yeah.
It's not like
Right now, this
It's-
sounds
it's
like
cool.
a great ad for a
Okay,
7-year-old.
okay.
Keep going. I'm just kidding.
Skyline Chili. Have you ever heard of it?
Never heard of it.
It is kind of iconic. When Seth had it for the first time, he loved it. It's different. It's like chili on spaghetti noodles is what they serve mainly, and like cheese conies and stuff. But the chili itself almost has like a chocolate and like cinnamon component that's in it. I know that sounds weird,
Oh, we got
but
pictures.
it's very good.
What?
Yes.
Is that
this
just like all
this
the
is it.
cheese
You
in the
can
world?
also
That's so much shredded cheese on top.
The cheese is so good. You can also buy this like in Kroger here in Nashville, like the cans of the chili itself.
Wait, so is the chili just chili?
Yeah.
So you just putting chili on spaghetti is what?
Yes, but it's kind of different. It's hard to explain. It's like kind of runny. I know I'm making this sound
My-
really appetizing, but
my girlfriend eats really like organic, and she and many others have said in the span of my life something about like, oh well, Californians like, oh, you guys have such good food, such healthy food, blah blah blah. And I feel like we ate very normal, and it's not like we grew up eating quinoa all the time or something.
yeah.
Until I see some shit like that, and I'm like, you know what? The rest of the country are slobs. This is what's going on.
This would kill her. Yeah. It's pretty rough, but it's so good. Okay, let me tell you what else about Cincinnati.
Yeah.
The Bengals.
The The Bengals used to be horrible.
I'm so impressed.
I don't.
got that
Yeah,
right.
I'm really impressed too. I know neither of us care about sports
They
at
made
all.
it to the Super Bowl last year for the first time in
So they're a football team.
so many years. Yes,
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with sports.
I think they had only been to the Super Bowl once before last year. The Super Bowl was on my birthday last
That's
year,
cool.
and they lost.
So
and
your
that
birthday
was
must have just
really
happened.
sad. Yes,
Nice.
like a week ago.
Happy birthday.
Dope.
Thank you. 26,
Nice.
the big 26. Yeah,
That's what they say about 26.
that is what they say.
That's like an age where you're like, well, what's new about this one?
Yeah,
Actually-
I'm closer to 30 than I am 20. That
True.
feels
That is big.
like
That's
a big deal. Yeah.
It is. We don't get anything new anymore.
That's what
Yeah.
everybody says. At 25, you're like, we can rent a car.
But let's be real. You can rent a car before you're 25.
I know.
Like I've done it.
You couldn't used
Yeah.
to, but now you can.
Yeah.
Now it's just 25. You get a discount.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Everything past this is just discounts. It's like
And pain, just like more pain
discounts
in your
and
body.
pain. Do you know what happened to me last night, you guys?
Huh.
I got home very, very, very late after the studio, and I went to take a shower because I'm in a habit of taking a shower before bed just to relax. And I
Awesome.
stepped into the shower, and my foot slid out, and I fell on the ground, and then I tried to get up and continued to fall several times
Oh my!
because I had my AirPods in. I was gonna like listen to a thing
In the shower?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait, they
But
can
now
do that?
water-
You
yeah.
can be in the
Oh,
shower
yeah.
with the AirPods.
Fun fact, everyone, you can use your AirPods in the shower.
Like
Try not to get
any-
water all over them,
But you're in the shower, so that's gonna happen.
right. But the like,
They're not waterproof. Like it's a big controversy that they don't have a waterproof
I've
rating.
never heard
Okay.
of someone showering
Okay.
with AirPods.
I do it all the time. So
Okay.
okay, ambient water. Like if your head is not in the water itself, but just
Ambient water.
ambient water,
Water
Stray
adjacent.
water. Yeah, adjacent water that might spray a little bit on the AirPods. I can tell you, you're probably gonna be fine. Direct water contact, I wouldn't recommend. However, when I fell, direct water contact happened. That's why I continued to fall, because then I was trying to save the AirPods at the same time as save myself, and it was a clusterfuck. But
Do not shower with AirPods.
I will also say, it's very dangerous. I have a second set of AirPods. I have my new ones, and then I have like the old first generation ones.
Yeah.
Now the first gens are my shower AirPods.
Your shower
and I've
pods.
gotten real liberal with those. Like I have let water be on them, and I'm sure Wesley works at Apple. I'm sure you're dying inside because you're not supposed to. But just so everyone knows, if you have AirPods you don't care about that much, you
can
could totally have
maybe
them in the
shower.
shower.
With like long hair, I couldn't do that. My hair, like, it would just get
Oh.
it all wet.
Or to create a shield.
Okay, so I'll
Yeah,
get a
it's
shield.
no, your
No,
hair
your
is
hair
like
creates a
Oh, my hair is
shield.
shield.
Yeah, your hair's a shield.
Yeah, all the water hits your hair and drips down. It doesn't go traverse
But also,
through the.
like-
What about like a Bluetooth speaker in the bathroom?
True, that's
what
what my wife does.
It's a better idea. I used to have one, lost the power cable.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
so
You don't.
So for $9.99, you can get a new one off
I
Amazon.
guess it depends on your shower habits. So I don't go and put my head in. If I'm using AirPods, I don't put my head in the water until the end.
it sounds so
And then I
hard
take
to
the
do.
AirPods out when I go to put my head in the water.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never talked about this before, but now I'm confessing it to the world.
And you should feel a little
And-
judge.
How
But
long
here's
are
the
you? How
part,
long
this
are
is
you?
the part you all are missing is that I fell in the shower
Sorry.
like a 70-year-old.
Sorry.
And
you
here's
break
the
a hip?
thing, and this is real. Okay, a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, this happened another time. Not with AirPods, just I slipped in the shower, and
You should get those little duckies that you can stick.
Common
I
occurrence.
need to get a rubber mat for the shower. But here's
No,
the
no,
thing.
the duckies. The mat gets all moldy underneath.
Okay,
The little like grip duckies.
I need to.
You stick them to the bottom.
Oh.
I don't even know about
I don't
these.
You don't know about the duckies?
No. Nope.
But I'll get some.
Wesley,
grip
put the duckies up on the screen.
I'll get a grip ducky. But in the meantime, part of me was thinking today, I'm like, it seems like just a random accident. And maybe there's some weird thing. Like maybe somebody's leaving like soap or something slick on the bottom. Maybe
Yeah.
there's another fact. But I was thinking about it. I'm like, this hasn't happened to me.
They're little
Oh,
stickers that stick on the bottom. They got grip on them.
I'll get those.
Yeah. And they don't mold underneath because they're adhesive.
Wesley, add them to my cart. Just kidding. He's not logged into my
Ship
Amazon.
them to my house.
But part of
Okay.
me today was thinking like, do I have like an equilibrium problem?
No, you're just old.
Like, is this how you find out you have some weird brain tumor?
But
Is
doesn't
it-
having the
You
AirPods
have
in?
How long have you been showering with AirPods?
8 months.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I was wondering if there was a correlation.
Well, because having headphones in will fuck with your equilibrium.
But I happen to be. I don't usually wear my Pros into the shower. Last night I did though because I wasn't thinking because it was very late. But the Pros have the like transparent audio where you can hear the outside world, and I feel like that helps a lot. I think these are isolated incidents, but if I keep falling in the shower, like I'm gonna have to go to a doctor. I think. And like maybe I'll be diagnosed with like terminal old age, and they're like, "Oh, you have like early onset
old age,
Yeah,
only
old
onset
age.
old age."
Early onset
yeah.
old age.
Yeah, actually, you should think about retiring in the next year or two. So,
Wow.
But you play music.
oh
I
yeah,
do. I do not shower with AirPods, but maybe I'll start.
it's a great thing to try. Just like everybody should try it once. We should probably play your first song.
So people know what you
Sure.
sound like.
Yeah. This is what I sound like. Here's my song.
Can we just hard cut right there? That's perfect.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. I love that.
Weekly candy drop-offs, all hopped up for our mom. You're leaving out the back door. Drop the dog's food on the floor. Help me with my homework, just in time for summer. Every day at the pool, you said we might as well live here. If I were you, I would have said the same thing. If I were you, I would have said the same thing. Ooh. Secrets kept in high school, vodka water bottle. You're sleeping on the couch now. I'm just too young to notice. Make excuses for you. Think of all the bad news. I will never blame you. You were dealt a hell of a hand. If I were you, I would have done the same thing. If I were you, I would have done the same thing. Ooh, ooh, predestined genetics, it's not fair you said it. Weekly doc appointments becoming an annoyance. You wanna go live your life and you've made up your mind. Nothing's gonna stop you, even if it takes you. If I were you, I would have done the same thing. If I were you, I would have done the same thing. Ooh, ooh, the same thing. Ooh, ooh, the same thing. I keep waiting for you to walk right on through that Ohio laundry room and tell me you love me more. It would be wonderful.
And we're back.
Okay, so that was Ohio Laundry Room.
Yes.
All right. Have you spent a lot of time in Ohio laundry rooms? Did you not have a laundry
Well,
at
I
your
grew
house?
up in Ohio and I had a laundry room in my house. So
Sure.
spent a lot of time
Privilege.
with, obviously, spent a lot of time with that laundry room. So
So is the song about that laundry room?
No, it's not.
Okay.
And
it opens with a little voice memo.
Yeah.
Is there a story there?
Yeah. So, sorry, about to bring the mood down
Okay.
by quite a bit.
That's all right. We'll bring it right back
but-
up.
You're good. Do you want a sound effect for this?
Yeah, I'm about to bring the mood.
Abby's
I don't
about
think
to
that was it.
buzzkill.
I don't think that was it.
We don't have a sad one.
That was good. That was like
It changed everything.
bringing it down. Yeah. So I feel like I wrote this entire song and I say Ohio Laundry Room like at the very end of the song. So I didn't know what I was going to call it until I like finished writing it. And that just seemed like a weird and unique, catchy thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, the voice memo at the beginning is my grandma talking. It's about her. And she passed away in July of last year. So I wrote that like right around that time. And like the meaning of that as the title is like whenever she would come over to our house, she would just like walk through the garage instead of like the front door, and like walking through the garage would lead her into that laundry room. And so like anytime that I would see her would be like when she was coming in the house through that way. So yeah, it's a heavy song, but it's super like meaningful to me.
So
yeah.
the song is about her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And did you write it after she had passed or before?
I did. Yeah. I wrote it like, gosh, I think like the week that she passed. I was like writing for this record that I'm about to put out in April, and I had written the entire thing except for one song. I needed like one more to like finish it out.
Yeah.
And I had a few different options to choose from. Before I had even written this one, I like had an idea like maybe it'll be this one, maybe it'll be this one, and none of them like felt right. And then she like passed away somewhat unexpectedly. And I was just like writing to write, not even like with the thought of releasing it. And as soon as I finished writing it, I was like, I think this is actually like the missing piece of this record, which I had been writing for like over a year at that point. So her passing away like unexpectedly, and then me writing it the same week that happened, and it like last minute making it on the record was all just like, I never could have planned for that, but that's what happened. So yeah.
Has your family heard the song or?
Yeah. I showed it to them like when it was finished, so I didn't tell them about it or anything.
Yeah.
And showing it to them was like very emotional. I think it's been special at the same time, like even though it's so heavy, I feel like it's like brought closure to the situation in a lot of ways that I like couldn't have expected. But it still feels so personal, like that voice memo that you were mentioning, like that's like her voice at the beginning of the song, and it feels so raw to like release that and share it with everyone. Like,
Yeah.
this is a person that like I didn't expect to write about something like this, like death or her, like so extensively, and sharing that was like scary. Like I feel like the
that's really
most
scary.
vulnerable that I've ever felt releasing a song. Yeah.
And have you felt, now it's new, how long has it been out for?
Almost a month.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So still pretty
do
new.
Yeah.
Do you feel good about having had really, like once it was out there? Because I imagine there's a lot of like concern,
Like
fear
apprehension.
beforehand, but like
Yeah.
now that it's out, do you feel like a sigh of relief, like, oh, this is good now? Or are you still acclimating to that or making your mind up?
Yeah, I feel great. Like it's weird that like this thing that felt so, I mean, like many songs, like this thing that feels so personal to you, no matter what it's about, like you share it and then it's no longer just yours. Like it belongs to so many people. I think when I put it out, I kind of felt like it was because it was the most like personal thing I had written, so specific to me. I was like, I don't know how this will like relate to people. Like I think it will, but like not really sure what the response will be. And it was like by far like the most messages I've ever received, people
Really?
being like, this hit me so hard because of this, you know, like it's about death and grief, and also just like, I mean, the chorus is saying like, if I were you, I would have done the same thing. Like looking at her and the hard things that like happened in her life. 'Cause like we had an incredibly like special relationship, but also there was like a lot of baggage in it as well. And so it's me basically like saying to her, like, if I were you, I would have done the same thing. Like looking at her life, like no one's perfect. I probably would have done exactly what you did, if not like something worse. And so, I like, you know, in terms of numbers and like whatever, it's done better than any of my songs have done, like in a time period of like a month, which is not at all was that what I was expecting. Like I wrote it not even thinking it would make it on the record. I was just like writing it to kind of process through things, and seeing it do well was like, oh, this is cool, and also weird. Like it's such a personal thing to me, and because she passed like at this point like 7 months ago, it still feels so fresh to me. It's like
yeah, that's not a lot of time.
no. Whereas like I feel like a lot of times I don't know, there are things on this record that I've written about that like happened over a year ago and like don't even mean nearly as much as this does. So it feels very like raw to be putting it out. And yeah, I don't know. I just put it out because it was like, it felt so special to me. And I feel like seeing so many other people connect to it, like kind of has shown me like, just follow your gut, like trust your gut in what you're releasing and what you're writing about. I had like no one in mind when I put this out, like no audience or anything like that. It was just like me processing through it and felt like I needed to put it out. So I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I think
Yeah.
that's like the best stuff.
Yeah. Totally.
The best stuff is something that you really felt and that was really real to you.
Yeah.
And it's clear like you have an emotional attachment to the song, and it was like important to you, and you got something out by doing it.
Yes.
And so then, yeah, it is like when it's so specific to your situation, it's sort of natural to go like, well, will others get this?
Yeah.
Because like this isn't about just anybody. This isn't about, you know, whatever. Like it's about this specific person, but that's why everybody relates to it and they can actually feel it for themselves, because like it is a real human experience, and we're not all that different from each other. Like as different as we can be, like we all have a grandma or somebody in our life that's passed and have an experience, and we can hear that in your story. And it's almost like there's something about if you're just expressing like real, true human emotions and a real, true human experience, like if it comes from that place in you, somehow another person is able to like, to actually feel that for real.
Yeah.
And my brain wants to go to AI art and AI open chat, because I'm an AI whole week. I just made a tour poster for my band using AI.
So what you're saying is AI made a tour poster for you?
AI, well,
all of
I did
it, like even the text
no,
and
it
everything?
can't do the
or-
text good.
Okay.
I did the
Okay.
typography, but the
Gotcha.
image itself was AI created. And I listened to an interview this week with Tim Ferriss and Rick Rubin, and they were talking about AI art. And Rick was saying that like he's so far he hasn't seen anything from AI that compelled him or like made him feel something or want to go deeper with something.
Yeah, but he's on a blind test. That's the thing.
Yeah, I
Because if you
mean-
know it's AI,
Right.
Yeah.
you know. But if it's just straight blind test, because I love a good blind test. Like I used to work at Belmont University.
Okay.
And when I was working there, one of the other guys who worked there, Reggie, Shouting you out, Reggie. He only drank Evian water.
Oh,
Because he's a fancy bitch.
okay.
And
Flex.
and I said, why? You're wasting you're throwing away your money. You don't know the difference. And he's like, no, it tastes the best. That's why I drink it. It's not because it's expensive, because it tastes best.
Yeah.
So I immediately went across the street to the gas station and bought like 8 different things of water and used like Belmont's filtered water. And I had him blindly rank them. Evian was like the bottom on his list.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, you have
way
no
to
idea
know.
what you're talking about.
No way. Yeah.
Anyways, point is, I like a good blind test.
I did a blind test with an ex-girlfriend of her Berkey with her fridge.
I'm
Water.
sorry, her what?
Or what?
Berkey, you know Berkey? You know Berkey?
Is that just some filter?
the like big thing.
Yeah,
It's like big.
It's a big metal thing. And It
Yeah.
has like these giant charcoal columns within it that go down to giant British style, but much larger
So it's a
filters.
water filter. Yeah.
But it's like a very expensive, very fancy
Sure.
filtered
Yes.
water.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mhm. And so we did the Berkey, which was the only water she would drink, versus the fridge water, which is whatever filter your fridge has in it.
Yeah.
Right, it hasn't been replaced in 8 years.
Right.
Oh, there's the Berkey, yeah.
Oh,
Now,
that does look fancy.
she...
Don't
Yeah.
you dare tell my wife about this. I don't.
Oh,
I
she'll
don't
buy
want to
one,
buy
yeah.
it.
It's so big. Like I don't have
Yeah.
counter space for that.
Same. You think that stopped my wife?
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Well, my current girlfriend, Ashley, has one too, and she has a stand for it. So it doesn't even have to go on the counter anyway. Shout
It stands
out
on the
Berkey.
floor?
Stands on the
It's a
floor.
water
It's a
filter
whole
big enough to
own-
have its own. It's its own
Yeah.
piece
I
of
don't-
furniture.
It is
I
a
don't have
furniture.
enough floor space.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's too much.
Anyway, we did a blind taste test. I could not tell a difference, but I will say, even though the fridge water, when she tasted the fridge water, she was not sure. So the fridge water is not far off.
okay.
But when she tasted the Berkey, she knew it was the
she
Berkey.
knew it was that.
So
But does that mean it's better, or it's just
specific flavor.
Specific.
Yeah.
Right,
Hard to
right.
say. And the point is that, yes, blind taste test for Rick Rubin, not sure. But I do wonder with AI art, because what we're talking about, like, I kind of feel like I don't, as much as the way I'm saying it maybe sounds like spiritual or sort of like, maybe it could feel not exactly woo-woo, but just kind of like, oh, it came from a human place and we can feel that energy. Like I'm not like a big like energies guy or something. Like I don't feel like, yeah, there's just like an energy to your words.
Sure, you're not crunchy. I got it.
I'm not crunchy. Like I don't have a Berkey. But at the same time, I think there is something that is imparted by the fact that the song came out of a true emotional place for you that somebody on the other end can detect that's different than when people sit in a room like this and
Yeah.
sit down with the acoustic guitar and like, all right, what would be a good song?
that
well,
can
you know,
relate to everyone?
yeah, Blake.
Yeah.
Well, Blake put out that song recently about neon signs, and I was just feeling like something like that, but with a little bit of a twist, like that kind of like commercial music that's
Yeah.
like made with somebody in mind, and like, what do they
Yeah.
want?
Like that's what will get replaced by
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah. Yes. AI. I feel like AI could maybe do that, but I don't think AI can have a human experience and then tell about it. But like it can pretend pretty good.
Sure. Is that because AI has no soul
It has no soul
yet?
And anyway,
Yet.
so I'm
But
just
maybe
all
it
that
does.
back to you. I just feel like I totally see like that's why people relate to that song is because it came from a really real place in you, and I think people can detect that however that works.
Yes.
And
Yeah. And if this is the first
Yeah.
time you're hearing it, make sure you go on Spotify and check it out. It sounds very different. There's a lot more
does.
going on there.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So make sure you check that out.
and it has a voice memo.
Yeah, it's currently
It
top of
does.
your list, so it's real easy to find on Spotify. It's
Yeah.
right there at the top.
Crazy. Yeah. I think it's been just like shocking to me that it's done. I feel like when I've released music in the past, it's impossible to not think of like, how will this do? How will people relate to it? And then like when it's something like this that feels the most specific and personal, and then it's like at the top of my list, it's like, I feel like that gives me more like freedom and permission to just like keep doing that and like
Yes.
not like keeping your audience in mind is important. Like kind of trying to feel out like what do the people that listen to my music like, what are they into? But like people liking something as specific as this is like a great sign for me, I feel like.
Now I would
Yeah.
almost say the opposite.
Oh.
Except No, the same as what you ended up at, but the first thing you said, I would throw that into the trash and burn it alive. The idea of thinking about the audience.
Yeah.
I would like just throw that idea away.
Yeah.
With the asterisks, Ryan has never had like a super hit song and been a Taylor Swift and like been a billionaire from music.
You've never been a Taylor Swift?
No, I like.
Damn.
I
You
have
should all
like
be
a
a little bit Taylor Swift.
so I I just am like a normal working class music producer. So maybe Jack Antonoff would have something different to say, but I feel some level of like confidence in that because Rick Rubin, who's like the most successful,
Yep.
also says that, which is kind of like what solidified that in me, where I'm like, oh, the most successful guy thinks that. Frick, that's how I already feel.
Yeah.
Just like his whole thing is like you can't create for the audience, you can only create what you want to create. And so so I disagree with like what you were saying about it's important to think of your audience.
Yeah.
Even though it's totally fine if you think that. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no. I love what you came to though, of like this is encouraging for you to do more. I'm like, yes, take that lesson. Just do more of this.
Yeah.
Do more of the things that you really love. And then the people who like what it is that you do are going to be your super fans and are going to like, and then your art is real.
Yes. And I think,
and it's clear
like,
you're already doing
for
that.
the most part, I'm like where you are. I saw like a clip of Rick Rubin saying that, like, consider your audience last, basically, like because he said something like they only know what they've heard, like they only know what currently exists, so like you shouldn't consider them that much because like if you're trying to do something new, like they don't know it yet because they haven't heard it, and like take risks in that way.
Steve Jobs was like into that same philosophy.
Yes. And I feel like it's just like know your audience to the extent of like not in the sense of like I need to please this group of people, but like know who is in your corner and like who's listening to you, to like have that connection. But like I feel like what's going to please my audience is just like being my most authentic self and like putting forward whatever I'm into in the moment, because I feel like that is like constantly changing and
relating to them like how you relate to people.
Yes.
Not like how Taylor Swift relates to people.
Yeah.
And like I think that's a trap
What do you got
a lot of
against
people.
Taylor Swift today?
Nothing. She's great. But like I've seen that trap with like other people we know, that there was a time where like every girl who wanted to do a similar thing to Taylor Swift would like try to emulate her ways because they were very anytime there's big success, people study it and they're like, you know what Taylor did is she went out and she shook everybody's hands because she had that personality. And so I think Taylor Swift is like a high watermark example of somebody who like did a great job with building an audience and knowing in all the things, but I'd like to think that she actually is relating to them the way that she would like to relate to them. And like your temperament or my temperament or any other artist's temperament is going to be different. And I think like the only thing you can be is the best version of yourself.
Right.
And like, so I think the sad thing is when you get a bunch of copycats, it's like there's somebody who has a bunch of talent, but they're trying to emulate Taylor, or if it's maybe if it's a guy, it's Bruno Mars or vice versa. But like whoever you're trying to emulate, and you want to be like how they do their thing. Or Shawn Mendes is probably a good example of like, I'm gonna go on YouTube and do this, and like just trying to be like this. Yeah, you just can't. And so, but being the most Abby is like what your people are gonna love the most.
But I don't think it's necessarily about being the best of yourself, though. 'Cause I don't think, first of all, I don't think that's possible. But I think you kind of got to be a little fucked up to make things that are good.
You gotta have some problems.
Everybody's a little fucked up.
Yeah. You have to be able to recognize where you're fucked up.
Exactly. And capitalize on that. Yeah, because if you're just like, if everything's just like going great, it's like, what do you got to sing about?
Yeah.
You know?
You got to be, it's me.
I know, like,
I'm the problem, it's me.
So, but I know, like, we talk about it a lot in relation to like stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
How we say like...
do you like comedy at all?
Somewhat. I feel like I don't know comedians.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
But like if I hear something and I'm like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Everybody likes things that are funny.
Yeah.
Right?
Great.
Like no one's like, I hate laughing.
Right.
That's the worst.
We all love to laugh.
Yeah.
But just because you...
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
Okay.
I have no idea how long this is. It might be the whole song. I don't know. But you can hit it.
All right.
That was nice.
That was nice. That was nice.
I like your bold button pushing.
Yeah.
I
No
appreciate that.
hesitation.
But that one didn't do what I wanted
Right,
it
I'm
to.
going-
Well, no, there's an audience member who once hearing Rick roll would laugh. We didn't happen
guess.
to because we like know it's there.
Yeah.
But there's somebody who would laugh at a Rick roll being placed right there.
Rick roll's always great.
I
It's
feel like
always
you did your
It's
job.
a classic. Early meme.
So you were going to talk about Sam comedians, and what I think you were going to say is how like
The
they
third-
start good, but they get bad.
Right. They like usually by the
Oh.
they get to like their third like big special, they become less relatable.
Because they're
Because they're
now,
trying
like,
to-
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they don't have any problems.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're still human, but like, they got a bunch more money now. Like, things are going pretty good.
Yeah.
And usually by around that third special, they're less funny.
And you'll hear people like do sketches that are like almost just borderline celebrity gossip, and they're like, I was hanging out the other day at Bill Clinton's house, and Hillary looked at me and I said this. And like when they started, it was like, you know, my
Couldn't pay my rent.
right.
Yeah.
When I couldn't pay my rent and my landlord laughed at me, and everybody like gets it. But like, yeah.
More relatable.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the point is, you got to be a little fucked up to make something that's cool.
That's true.
And everybody is, so it doesn't make it that hard.
Yeah.
I mean, making stuff cool is hard, but like, you have the tools.
You just have to be self-aware to a certain extent, I feel
Yeah.
like. And like, yeah, I feel like so much of my music is pretty like self-reflective, just like looking at myself and singing about the things that are wrong with me sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
for better or for worse, that's just like kind of, I feel like a pattern that I've seen in like what I write about. But yeah, I feel like artists that I look up to the most are just completely being themselves. And you can kind of see like certain artists that are building something that's extremely unique. And then you can see like a whole other group of artists below them that are like trying to be like that. Like so many people trying to be like Taylor Swift, trying to be like Phoebe Bridgers, whoever it is. And like the most important thing you can do is like figure out who you are and like be yourself, which is a weird thing to like try to do. But I feel like we don't need another Taylor Swift. Like we need someone to like just share what's going on in their life and in their head and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do. Hope it's working. I don't know.
So you're about to go on tour with Michigander,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
if you're listening to this and you're interested in Michigander, he was several episodes ago.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Very
pretty sure you're
funny
supposed to
guy.
say friend of the show.
Friend of the show, thank you.
Oh,
Very
friend of the
funny
show.
guy, tremendous guy. Does a little Trump voice from time to time.
He does.
And
He does.
We had to like coerce him into doing it. Like he didn't want to, and
oh,
we just kept
no, he
pushing
did it naturally, but he didn't do
But
it.
he did it off the
on the
camera,
show,
and
he
we were like,
wasn't.
"You're doing that on camera."
on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He does it too often.
Okay, so you guys are going on tour.
Yeah.
And you're doing it's a big tour. Where
It
all are
is.
you going? Where are you most excited about going? Are you doing is
Oh.
it the whole United States minus
Pretty much.
Hawaii and Alaska?
And
Pretty
the
much.
the continental.
Yeah. I'm doing a show in Texas that's not with Michigander, and then joining him in Phoenix is where we're starting.
Are you doing South by Southwest?
No.
Okay.
Just like a one-off show. It was, the tour was supposed to happen last fall. Jason broke his leg, as I'm sure you know. And then it got postponed to the spring, but we already had this Texas show because he was going to be doing South by Southwest. So starting there, going to Phoenix, California, all that stuff. We're going almost everywhere, it feels like. Yeah.
That's
it's
awesome.
like almost a month long, and yeah.
But most excitingly,
San Diego.
is that a word?
Yeah.
Excitingly, yeah. San Diego. You guys are playing the Casbah.
Yeah,
I think.
that
If
sounds
I
right.
remember
That
right.
sounds-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool venue
I'm excited. Yeah. I've also never been to LA.
for San Diego.
So that'll be
standards.
fun.
Do you know where you're playing in LA?
The Echo, maybe?
Oh, the Echo.
Okay,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I haven't been, but it was
don't
like
think
I
I have
recently booked a tour in those same places, and both of those venues are places that I was looking at.
Sweet.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
I googled the Echo.
But
I'm
you've never been to
excited.
LA, huh?
No?
So someone who's never been to LA,
Yeah.
what do you think of LA?
I mean, all I hear, I feel like people in Nashville are like, sometimes will shit on LA,
Sure.
but I'm like, I'll see it for myself.
That's good. It's good to have that kind of resolve.
I feel like people in Nashville are like, the community here is awesome, which it is. Like, I have a great
Yeah.
community. And then they're like, in LA, not so much. Like, it's more cutthroat and like competitive.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Well, I don't want to. I don't want
Probably.
to sway your resolve or your
Yeah.
opinion, but LA is a giant piece of shit. It's the worst place on the planet. I hate LA so much.
I feel like from what I've heard about it, I could never really see myself living there.
You shouldn't.
But
That just goes to show that you're a decent person. Because LA is the worst. It's just miserable. I just hate LA.
yeah.
I hate LA so much.
I guess I'll find out. It sounds expensive and
Yeah.
there's a lot of traffic and I don't like that.
I mean, there's some cool stuff
Yeah,
because there are a lot of people. But
right. I just spent some time in Santa Cruz for the first time and it was
Santa Cruz is dope.
beautiful. Yeah, one of my good friends lives like right around there and I was like, I can see why people would want to live in California. It's like beautiful out here.
Yeah.
But I don't know if
I mean, maybe you'll
LA
love
is for
LA.
me.
Maybe you'll love it. You'll go there and
Maybe.
you'll love it.
Yeah.
And then we'll
Counterpoint.
know. But,
Counterpoint.
uh,
I don't hate LA in the same way you do.
yeah, it's weird. I don't know why
Yeah.
he's such a bad person.
Why do you hate it?
Yeah.
So, okay. I grew up in San Diego,
Yeah.
which is the cool part.
Right.
When you go to LA, first of all,
LA.
everyone is a little mean there in comparison to San Diego. Because San Diego is pretty chill. I mean, you're going to run into mean people everywhere, right? But
Yeah.
San Diego's fairly chill. LA, not that far away. Everyone's like kind of mean, in a hurry, just generally rude,
Yeah.
kind of, and it's dirty and just smog and just smells bad.
Yeah.
And then everywhere you go, it's like twice the price, 3 times the price, and it's just crowded. You can't go anywhere. Like you
Yeah.
try to go anywhere, it's like if you want to go from this side of LA to that side, not even all the way. Just like,
Yeah.
I want to go 5 miles away. That might take you 5 minutes, or it might take you 3 hours, and you just don't know.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know.
Now,
Nothing
but
good
how
happens
do you
in LA.
feel about Anaheim, home of Disneyland?
I have neutral feelings about Anaheim in general because it's just kind of a near LA area. That's just let's be real. It's just like a suburb with like a big mall.
How do you feel
But
about
I
Disneyland?
love
Happiest
Disneyland.
place on earth.
Disneyland is the happiest place on earth. I have been to Disneyland
Part of
minimum
LA
50
County.
times.
Let the record show.
No, it's part of Orange County. Thank you very much.
Is it?
Yes, it is not in LA County.
LA County's sad that it doesn't. Orange
They don't
County.
even have Disneyland.
Well, yeah, it's sad that LA County
Boo.
doesn't extend to Orange County.
No, it's not. It's
They
good for
should
Orange
have it.
County.
I-
Let Orange County be.
okay.
Orange County is way cooler than LA County. It's not very cool, but
So-
it's better. But they have Disneyland.
Okay.
Let me tell. I'll
Yeah,
tell
what
you
do
on
you
the other
think
side of
about
LA.
LA?
Yeah. Okay. On the downside, I was gonna move to LA for college.
Until you heard that John Mayer song.
Yeah, it's a weird story, but I was gonna go to LA, and to check out the Art Institute of Santa Monica to get a degree in audio production, and I was
Okay.
gonna go check it out. And when I woke up at
I think you have
5
to
in the
say
morning
the
to
now
go.
defunct.
the now defunct Art Institute, it's a dead college.
Okay.
But as I was getting up in the morning to go, in the back of my head was, I don't think I'm gonna go to LA anymore.
I don't think I'm gonna go to LA anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, weird. Is this a sign? Because like I'm going to LA today.
Yeah.
And anyway, it didn't work out for other reasons. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, I guess it's a sign. Thank you, John Mayer. The prophet John Mayer. But
Prophet Mayor.
yeah.
What song is that?
It's called In Your Atmosphere. Atmosphere.
Yes. Yes.
In Your Atmosphere. Atmosphere.
Yes.
One of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like only, as far as I know, only found on the live at the Nokia
That album is-
So good.
So good. Yeah.
But the end of that song is my favorite part. Wherever you go, wherever you are. Yeah, I learned how to play that song at one point. It's like a really
Wow.
cool random open tuning.
yes.
that
I
he
feel like a
probably
lot
made
of
up.
those are yeah.
It's so good.
It's so good.
So anyway, so I went and checked out the school, but I didn't go to LA anymore. And so then after school,
Thanks, John.
so I ended up going to school in San Diego. And then after school,
the Art Institute as
At the
well.
Art Institute,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And then so when I graduated, I was like, I'm going to go to LA
Anymore.
and start my career anymore. But then our band had 2 songs placed in independent film. And that independent film
Did it ever come out? I don't think it
never
ever came out.
Never came out.
Did you get money from it?
No.
Damn.
Nothing. But I did get to like be in the movie that didn't come out. I guess
okay.
they had a premiere, so somebody got to see it. I
Yeah.
wasn't there. But I got to be in the movie playing drums.
Yeah.
But we met. The fun thing is we met a bunch of like B actors. The highest billed actor in the movie was Jonathan. Can't remember his last name. But have you seen
Taylor
Mean-
Thomas.
No. Have you seen Mean Girls?
Yes, it's been a while, but yes.
So
Great
the
movie.
it is a great movie.
the main boy crush of that movie, Aaron Samuels.
Okay.
The one that Lindsay Lohan has a crush
Yes,
on, and
yeah.
I'm sure they get together. He was in the movie.
Okay.
His name's Jonathan something.
Okay.
Wesley, could you fact check?
Right.
Jonathan, whoever
And
from
weirdly,
Mean Girls.
your sister, my wife, ran into, I think, that same guy at like a moon pie festival that she got hired at to be like an extra
Oh,
Yeah.
for
So
something.
we both have a
It's like
connection to
super
him.
weird and
Well-
random that she met the same guy.
weird.
Jonathan Bennett.
Yeah, that guy.
Jonathan
Yeah,
Bennett.
there he is.
So anyway, he was like the highest guy, but like the rest of the actors in it were all like B actors that had like been in an episode of That's So Raven or like an
Yeah.
episode of
That's big time.
some of them had been in Step It Up 3D and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was there for 2 days filming, and I met all these actors, and it was like kind of cool and kind of exciting. They'd been in things that I'd seen and whatever, and a lot of things I hadn't seen.
Yeah.
And they grossed me out because of like the LA-ness of them and all their name droppiness. And here was this is probably the single conversation that made me not move to LA. One actor saying to another actor like, last week I was at the Beverly Glen Hotel and Tom Cruise was there and I walked up and I was like, hi Tom, and whatever. And as I listened to this story, I was like, wait, he's trying to make it sound like he knows Tom Cruise and they're friends, but if you listen to the story,
It's
he just
kinda
had a
cringe.
celebrity sighting.
Yeah.
But he's trying to pass it off like he's important.
Right.
And that's
And-
the perfect picture of what LA is.
And that cringe made me go, oh. And now it was a seed in my heart that the next time I went to LA and started like trying to think about moving there, and I started looking at the city different, and I was like, wait, everybody here is trying to be something,
Yeah.
and they're
they're
faking
not
it till
anything.
they make
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Nashville, and then I checked out Nashville, and Nashville's the opposite. Nashville's like almost the less you try to act like you're important, the more important you probably are.
Yeah.
And the people who are like serious and like actually have real stuff going on just act like normal people. And it's
Yeah.
the people who are like beginners and fake that are faking it till they make it.
Yeah.
And it's just an opposite thing that people do.
Totally. Yeah.
Not to ruin your LA experience by any means.
And there's both of those. Like, there's for sure like
Those people here.
of
and
course.
these people there. You know, like,
Yeah.
but I totally know what you mean. I feel like I've met so many people here that are just like working on incredible things that are very like admirable. But if they're humble and like kind to people, that can like get you far. And like you should keep having those characteristics. Like you shouldn't lose that as you continue to like get bigger. And that's very refreshing. Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, the culture of LA's entertainment industry made me think, if I moved here, I will never be happy until I'm exceedingly wealthy and have all of like the trappings of success, and I have the Rolex and the BMW, all the things.
Yeah. And
I
that's
won't be happy until
scary.
that
Hey,
happens.
you've got a
Yeah.
Mercedes.
You have to lie. I do, but it's a piece of shit. Looking at buying a new one, a new
Mercedes?
old one.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, but that was kind of the vibe I took away from LA, and so that's why I've decided I would never move to LA unless I felt like, oh, I've made it and I'm independently wealthy. I can do whatever I want, and I just want to be in this locale. Now, here's the good things about LA: great weather, just like San Diego.
Worse than
Yeah.
San Diego, though. It gets hotter there.
Slightly, but great weather
smog.
It's like
overall.
go somewhere else in California. That's
Beautiful
what I'm saying.
coastline.
Yeah.
and a bunch of really fun things that I think are exciting that I don't think would still be exciting if you lived there. But I love to visit.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love visiting, and these are some of the things I would highly recommend you visit when you go.
The pier.
Paradise Park, which is the Santa Monica Pier. It's
Okay.
a amusement park on a pier on the ocean.
It's like a movie. It's straight out of a movie.
Wow.
It's out of a movie.
It's really cool,
And it's the
and you
end
should
of
go.
Route 66. Go there, get a hamburger, ride a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so like what that should be. It is that experience. It's awesome. Number 2, Hollywood is really fun for several hours. It's fun to walk down see all the stars on the ground.
Yeah.
Go to the Chinese theater.
Yes, go to the Chinese theater, see a movie there.
Okay.
I
I gotta write this down.
It's called that. It's called the
Okay.
Chinese
We're
theater.
actually recording this, so you
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. You just mentioned California, and we
Yeah.
just were like, oh, you want to know about California? All right.
the Grumman's Chinese Theater, that's where they traditionally did all the movie premieres. You want to see a movie that's in the big main theater. The other little,
Yeah.
they've added a few small theaters. No one cares. You want to
Okay.
go to the big main theater where they did all the Hollywood premieres.
Okay.
It is the most like ornate movie theater you've ever been in.
I mean, you're probably going to be there for like one night,
it has a reverb.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You have
Getting there,
zero
playing
free
a show,
time.
Are
waking
you-
up, leaving.
Yeah. So
don't have a day off
none of this
there.
is going to help you.
so we'll move on. But like, this actually transitions me good to what you're. So we're gonna be. My band's gonna be playing there in March, but the early side.
Yes.
And you're playing
Yeah.
late in March.
Yep.
Um,
I think like April 1st, maybe. Yeah.
Oh,
we're
really?
gonna
That
go
late?
up
Yeah.
early to LA so we can go do all these fun
Yes.
things because there's a few people in the band who've never. Well, actually, there's one person who's never done these. So I want to
Okay.
take them to all the things.
That's sweet. Yeah.
But we are driving in a car, so we have that freedom.
Yeah.
Which takes me back to you and your tour.
Yes.
So that was our LA sidebar.
we had to do it.
You walked right into
had to do
it.
it to him.
Oh, I have 2 ways I want to go. One thing is I want to ask you how you're touring, like bus, van, car, what are you doing? The other way is I want to make sure that I say there's a certain kind of Nashvilleian that when they get big, and if this happens to you, like you blow up, like Laney style, there's a certain kind of Nashvilleian that then starts going to LA all the time and acts like it's the coolest thing in the world when they talk in Nashville. Because what you were saying about Nashvilleians is so true, where they shit talk LA until they get big and they go to
Get
LA,
in a
and then
part
they
of
act
that,
like
yeah.
LA is the coolest thing ever, and it drives me crazy because I'm like, fuck you, it's just LA. But they'll just be like, oh, I'm going to LA for a write this week. I'm going to be in LA writing, and then they just go live in LA and they become total douchebags, and
They get sucked into the LA culture.
and they think
whatever that is.
certain Nashvilleians think LA is the highest peak of life, and
gross.
fuck those people. But
Nashville's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Nashville's
like,
awesome.
I feel like, yeah, like obviously, I think like bigger acts, sure, are like in LA, but Nashville's great.
yeah.
What's wrong with it? Nothing.
But you're going on tour in a few weeks.
Yes.
Wait, I have
so-
to. Sorry. I have to add this.
Okay.
I don't think there's I don't have a problem with anybody who wants to move to LA and go do their career there. I think that's awesome. Like I would, if I had opportunities in LA, I wanted to, I might go to LA and have a career there. Like I'm full support of Abby Holliday moving to LA and doing a career there if that fits you.
Yeah.
What I'm not in support of is you coming back to Nashville and bragging to your friends like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm in LA. It's so cool.
Yeah.
But also, like,
If you
do
think
whatever you
LA is
want. Ryan doesn't
cool-
own you.
Yeah, do whatever you want. I just when people act like LA's the coolest thing ever in Nashville, I just am like, it sounds so cheesy to me.
Yeah.
It's
I know what you
so
mean.
cheesy.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Okay, back to your
Yep.
tour.
but-
Sorry. We had to shit on
We had to
LA for
rant a little
minute.
bit.
Yeah.
But so you're going on tour in a few. When do you leave?
We leave March.
Or I guess you're going a little early, right? Because you have that Texas show.
March 24th is when we'll leave. Yeah, Nashville. So
Okay, so when is that first show?
the next day, the 25th. Yeah.
So 25th
That's
in Texas.
by myself, and then we'll hang out in Texas for a bit because Seth's family lives there, and then we'll go to Phoenix the next day.
Okay. How long are you guys going to be on the road? Because you said this is the longest you've ever gone.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
over
like
a month. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So a long time.
the last show's in Nashville, April 29th. Yeah. So
Wow.
It'll be a while.
Are you van, car?
we are truck pulling a trailer.
Okay,
so,
awesome.
which is what we did. I toured in the fall, and we did that same setup, like me on guitar, drums, and then bass. And man, a truck pulling a trailer does not get great gas mileage, but you know what?
Like
That's
7.
okay.
Yeah.
It's like 12 or something. But yeah.
But y'all
it'll
splitting
be a
it,
good
right?
time.
Are you bringing a band?
So me on guitar, Seth drumming, my friend Avery playing bass, and then tracks. So it'll be like a 3-piece band. Yeah.
Okay, rad.
Yeah.
So
gonna be fun.
it's Michigander and you.
Yep. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think maybe like a local opener at some places, but for the most part, it's just us at every place. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah.
Now you had done. Oh, actually, I guess this is probably not the right month to throw this out there, but you were also involved in that Christmas song. You were on the Christmas.
Yes.
This is not the
Montana.
right month, as it is February,
Yeah.
and Christmas was a minute
Snow
ago.
in
Yeah.
Montana,
Snow
but
in
gotta
Montana.
say,
it
yeah.
still does snow every now and then. So
Not here.
Are you the voice that goes like, I don't know the words? I was da 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 da
Yeah.
da da da. Very
at the
airy.
very end. Yeah.
That-
I think you finally have like finished our. We have had everybody on this show who's
You
been on that
have.
song.
Yeah.
Part of the Christmas song.
You're the last piece of the puzzle, and we
I
got it, the full
am.
collection.
You got the snow in Montana
I gotta say,
collection.
Could be
every,
like a badge. I don't know.
every time your voice came in on, and then by the way, for the listeners, we're talking about the song "Snow in Montana,"
Yes.
which is a winter song, not a Christmas song, so you can listen to it now.
Yeah.
It's still winter.
Yeah.
Every time your voice came in, I'm like, there was something so like touching about it. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just it was very airy and very soft, and like
Yeah.
with the theme and the words and the melody and the whole thing. Like, I loved your part of the song.
Thank
so
you.
so
Thank
thanks for
you.
completing our Snow in Montana.
Collection.
I'm at the
Yeah.
end of the song. I'm the end of the podcast people. So
which is our fault, to be fair. Like you mentioned in the beginning, like we've tried to do this before and we had to reschedule a bunch.
all
That was
good.
on us,
It is
not
all
not
good.
on her. Well, okay, so I did want to ask you a non-music, but
yeah.
Oh,
when you're not playing music,
Yes.
do you have hobbies? Is there other things you like to do
Hobbies. There are other things I like
besides
to do.
like going out to bars or whatever everybody in Nashville does? You know,
I like to go to LA.
I just love going to Urban Outfitters in LA. It's just like a better selection.
I get on my private jet. I go to the Urban Outfitters in LA, and then I come right back home. No, I love to be outside. I love to hike. I like to run. I have a dog. Banana is her name.
did we? I don't think we talked about your dog. That's weird for me. What kind of dog?
She's a pit bull border collie.
that's-
Seth had her before I knew him, so
Pit bull
I
border
like
collie?
adopted her kind of.
Yeah.
She's
you marry
pretty
Seth,
much
you marry the dog.
perfect. I mean, sometimes she's kind of annoying when she's
I mean,
like,
those are two of my favorite dogs.
she is so cute, so sweet. And she looks like a banana cream pie, so like golden, and yeah, she's so cute.
We're gonna have to see pictures, but Ryan's superimposing
show
a
you,
picture in
yeah.
post right now of your dog.
I probably forgot. Sorry.
So we love to take her on walks. I love to hang out with my friends.
Do you have friends that weren't a part of Snow in Montana, or is that all of your friends?
I just have 3 friends. It's them. No. It is funny how, I mean.
We've also had Dylan, who was in the live video.
Oh, yes.
Of
Dylan.
Snow in Montana. Like,
That's
Also
right. That's
friends,
right.
okay,
yeah.
we are getting the videographer. I forget his name, but he's been here before.
Alex?
Alex?
Or
We-
Isaac.
Isaac?
Isaac did the Moony.
The Moony, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We should get Isaac on the show just
To
to
really complete-
Just to really
yes.
complete it.
Be
Yeah.
Like, what was Snow in Montana like from behind the camera?
What else do I do? I used to play basketball. I don't really play
Really?
much anymore, but
Did I
that was
play in
like
high school?
high school and 1 year of college. So that was like a big part of my life. I like to play spike ball. Have you guys played that before? Do you know what it is?
spike
Is that the
ball
one
with
with
the
the
little
bouncy
nets?
thing in the
Yes.
middle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I've heard of it.
It's
I've never.
like similar rules to volleyball. So fun. Another thing that I just like, I used to play a lot when I lived in Cincinnati, but I feel like ever since moving here, I haven't done it as much. But
Wait, when you
Yeah.
go back to Cincinnati, you're like, oh, in Nashville, we just the Urban Outfitter at Nashville. Just
In Nashville, we don't play spike ball. We just like write music.
We got a
it's really just very artistic. Hard to say.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty much all I do.
Okay.
Seth and I like to watch a lot of movies.
Yeah,
a lot of
big movie
TV
people.
shows.
TV people.
What's like the best movie you've seen in recent times,
In recent times, or your
even
favorite
a
movie?
movie? Like I feel like I haven't watched movies in a while. I've
Yeah.
fallen out of the habit. Are you guys still on movies?
We're on movies. I, for some reason, have such a hard time remembering what movies I've watched or like what they're called.
That makes sense because they're only 2 hours one time.
I guess we just watched a show called The Leftovers that was.
Oh my god!
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's so good.
It's so sad.
It's so good. I feel
It
like
is
I
so good.
haven't like we didn't like some of our friends just watched it because we watched it, but before that we didn't know of like anyone who had seen it. But it's
It's not
incredible.
super well known for how good it is.
Yeah.
With and that girl, what's her name from Lord of the Rings? Tyler Perry's daughter, not Tyler Perry. What's his name's daughter?
I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
from Lord of the Rings.
I don't remember her name.
She is
but
so good in it.
yeah,
Oh my
it's
god,
so good.
But
yeah,
but as a caution, it is a dark, fairly graphic, kind of intense show.
Yeah.
And you're gonna feel bad a few times when we're watching it. Like it's not a lot of good things happen.
yeah, it's heavy for
Liv
sure.
Tyler. Yeah, Liv Tyler.
Yeah, it's
Son
it's the
of
same
Steven Tyler
Steven
from
Tyler.
Aerosmith.
That's right.
the
That's
same
right.
guy that made Lost.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is it J.J. Abrams?
or somebody else from Lost?
Not J.J. Abrams.
Wesley, we need you.
Yeah, Wesley's on it today.
Wait,
He's
is
been- we've made
J.J.
him Google
Abrams
stuff.
a director?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy wrote Lost, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And then also Watchmen, the show.
Oh, that
yeah.
was so good.
Yeah.
What, I didn't
But-
know that. But
yeah.
if you haven't seen it, the concept of the show is 2%. 2%?
2%.
2% of the Earth's population just disappear one day. And the show is about the fallout of that.
Yeah, and it's like how people
Trying to figure out like what happened and
with
people
it.
cope. It's mostly
Yeah.
people emotionally coping.
Yes.
And it is heavy.
Yeah.
Really?
It's really good.
2% disappearing sounds like COVID?
But it's
I don't
like
think we lost
out of-
2%.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Is it? What did we lose with COVID? Percent?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. See how many look at the
Levels
overall
3 set their appearance at 2% of the global human population. A group of people in the small New York community try to continue lives while coping with the tragedy of the.
it's really
8.3 out of
intense.
10.
It's yeah.
It's
Also sci-fi.
It's
should
really
That guy
definitely be
looks
one of the
real
genres.
sad. He's punching a hole in a wall.
That's the main
He's so
character.
upset.
he is.
That's the main
he's-
character.
he's
You
very
see his
troubled.
dick in the first episode.
Wow.
Do
He
you?
seems.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
very
remember
first
that.
because he's like he's having sex with some girl and she disappears.
That's true.
Because then 2% disappear and then he's like running
Yeah.
down the street naked in the very
Yeah.
first episode. Anyways, if you want to see that dude's dick, first episode,
If you want to see a dick, watch The Leftovers.
HBO just does whatever they want.
It's so good, and it's only 3 seasons. It like
I just
It's
pictured
great.
like we can't see the dick at first because they're having sex. When she disappears, and so you see the dick, and he falls. Do they ever figure out in the show why they disappeared?
we're not going to tell you.
Yeah, you
Are
gotta watch the
kidding me? You have
show.
to
Okay.
watch.
Okay,
It's real intense.
that was good. That was a good answer.
Yeah,
Here's
it's a
what
great
Here's
answer.
what I will say.
Yeah.
I feel like in the first season, you're trying. There's so much happening that you're like, why? What does this mean? What does this mean? Where did everyone go? Why did they disappear? And as it like continues throughout the show, it's less of that and it's more of like how the characters are responding and what that's revealing about like them as human beings.
Right. But not in a
Yeah.
like that concept kind of sounds like generic almost. Like all sorts of shows do that, but
Yeah.
it is not.
No,
It is much deeper.
there's so much happening all the time.
Yeah,
It's great.
It is.
It's very
yeah,
good.
It's a great show. That's a show I also have like
I'm glad
never
you've
met
seen
anybody
that, yeah.
else who's seen that show.
Yeah.
It's one I don't like. I watch I watch a lot of TV shows.
Yeah.
I love TV shows.
Yes.
I have an obsession. I keep a spreadsheet to like
Oh.
keep track of all the shows I watch.
Oh shoot.
And I watch a lot with my wife as well.
Yeah.
But that's one that I did not.
And can we
watch.
say that
Really?
when he
a
went
little
to
dark.
It is dark, yeah.
when he went to what does he call it? Boot camp? Software boot camp?
Yeah, not
He went to
Army.
a software boot camp. And when he went to software boot camp,
It's just a
one of
6-month
his
school.
projects
Okay.
was turning his spreadsheet into a website where you could also track
Right.
your shows.
So we have to do like a big
Wow.
project at the end of the thing or whatever. So
Okay.
I created an app that tracks your TV watching for you.
Whoa. Does
Yeah.
this app still exist?
I mean, on my computer only.
Okay.
You need to get it out on the show. You should make it a thing and give it to people.
It'd be a lot more work to
Yeah.
make it public. But Leftovers is a great one. That makes you just want to be like, what other shows do you love?
Yeah.
Because I love shows.
Breaking Bad.
One of the best show ever made, maybe.
Right. And Seth has not seen it. And he's like,
God
Neither have
damn
I.
it, Seth!
it's so good. And I know that he would love it.
Wow, I feel like I
And-
don't know if I can say I am Moony anymore. Like
Same. But it's like 5 seasons and
it's perfect.
it's a commitment for sure. It's like if you're gonna watch it, like it's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
And so
Worth
I feel like
every
that's
second.
like why he hasn't gotten into it, but it's so good.
I mean, let's
It's
be
so
real.
good.
If you watch a lot of TV, 5 seasons, I'm gonna be real with you, is nothing.
It's not that much.
It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been watching West Wing lately,
Okay.
which I had never seen in its entirety. I've seen random episodes. But
Yeah.
I started watching it, and I was just like, first of all, what's weird is if you haven't seen West Wing, it's a political
haven't.
show following the president in the early 90s. I mean,
Okay.
this made up president,
Yeah.
played by Martin Sheen, Charlie
Okay.
Sheen's dad.
Yeah.
And it's just a completely political show in like the 90s. And I've heard it's great. And my grandma loved it, and I never watched it. So I decided watching it recently. It is, first of all, a perfect show. It's heartwarming, but also dramatic. Oh, God.
Yeah.
My God, is it good.
That's
But
awesome.
also, all the issues that come up in the show are the same issues we're dealing with today. Like,
Yep.
even though it was 30 years ago,
Yeah.
which is a crazy thing to think that the 90s was 30 years ago.
Yeah. That's
It's
Wild.
all the exact same thing, and it's just wild to watch.
yeah. Yeah.
I had a point, but I don't remember what it is now. The point is, you should watch West Wing.
Yes. No, I'm always
But
taking
did you
Rex,
watch the
yeah.
follow-up of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul?
I watched the first like season and a half. I need to go back and watch it because I've heard it's incredible.
It's almost as good. It's
Yeah.
different, but
Yeah.
it is.
I loved
phenomenal.
what I saw, and then I just like stopped watching it
Yeah,
for
I
some
mean,
reason.
it hasn't been out that long. You probably caught up or whatever, you
Yeah.
know, and then never got back to it.
Yep.
That happens all the time.
Yep.
Oh man,
So good though.
Yeah.
I love that show so much. Yeah. I took a class in college called How Breaking Bad Broke Television. It was just like an elective type of thing that I had to do.
You tell me that wasn't core coursework?
It was just like, oh, I get to pick what I want to do. And my brother was like in the film school at the time. And so him and I took this class together. And like, it was a 3-hour class once a week. And very often we would just go to class and watch like 2 episodes of Breaking Bad and then just talk about it. I was like, this is great.
Perfect
Did
class.
he end up going into film?
My brother, he does.
Oh yeah, he does all Seth's like photography,
Yeah,
videography stuff.
yes.
Which looks really good, by the way.
Yeah, he's incredible. Yeah, does all my visuals,
Yeah.
does all of Seth's, and
That's awesome.
yeah.
Shout out if you're listening. What's your brother's name?
Luke
Luke.
Holiday.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Luke,
amazing.
I'm like really judgy about visuals, and yours look good.
Now,
He's incredible.
Coming from a judgy guy.
I
Wesley's
like
even judgier. Wesley, look up Luke Holiday's stuff and see if you like it, but don't say if you don't. He also doesn't have a mic. Anyway, I'm just saying I think Luke's work is
yeah.
awesome.
But
I feel like anytime I introduce him to people, I'm like, obviously I'm biased because I'm his sister,
Sure.
but like he is so good. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's incredible.
to be fair,
Yeah.
my sisters don't create anything, but if they did, they'd probably be bad at it. So I would judge them.
I
hope you're listening.
think my
Stephanie and
brother
Christina.
They're not listening.
is
My brother
just
is though.
the best in every way. We moved to Nashville together, so it's been cool seeing him do his thing ever since he's
That's
been
super-
here. Yeah, he's great.
I didn't
Now
make
his
this connection.
wife actually thinks her brother's pretty great, and they also
No, she thinks he's
moved
pretty
to
lame.
Nashville at the same
Brother.
time. Yeah.
Did you move together at
well,
the same exact time?
he originally moved in 2012, and
Okay.
then he moved back to San Diego for a while, and then we all moved back out together.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Which was really fun.
Yeah, it was dope.
really fun to move together.
That's sweet.
Oh, he said I like Luke.
Ooh, Wesley
Just
likes
right off
Luke.
the
I like
and,
Luke.
And what? I like Luke. I like Lamp.
I like Luke
Wesley,
too.
are you just saying you love Lamp?
I did want to ask.
Wesley's
if,
Wesley's like a super genius at visual.
he's not just saying
No,
that.
he's not just saying it. Wesley's a genius when it comes to photography.
I mean, you don't need to inflate his ego.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have enough ego. He needs more ego. Let me tell you.
He's real good. He's real good.
Wesley's
him more
really,
ego.
really good. So if he likes Luke, that means.
So
Luke
if you're in Nashville and looking for
really
someone,
good.
Yeah.
Wesley or
Wesley
Luke.
or Luke. Wesley
Yeah.
or Luke.
we got two options.
Yeah. Y'all need to meet each
maybe
other and
maybe
take
Wesley and
over.
Luke could be a team.
Okay,
Maybe.
I feel
Team
like the
Yeah.
chance of what I'm about to ask you is slim,
Okay.
and I feel like if this was the case, you would have already said something.
Okay. I'm scared.
But is your family in any way related to the famous holiday, Doc?
No, but my dad is a doctor.
Really? People call him Doc Holiday?
Yes.
Oh,
Because
he
that's
loves that.
amazing.
Your dad
Yep.
loves that, doesn't he?
He
He's a
does.
dad. He's
He's
so
a
into
dad.
it.
That's like the biggest dad joke.
My
if you-
dad is a dad. Like
Hey there, I'm Doc Holiday. Not that one.
it's convenient. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, I mean that just came to me, but
Yeah.
I didn't have any forethought
Wow, did
or a
that-
follow-up question with that.
Did that just come to you?
I was just wondering.
We are not.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's a
Wow.
little bit of a bummer. I'm not gonna lie.
It is. So it is kind of.
I would have had so
But
many
wasn't
questions
it-
otherwise.
But wasn't it a nice redeeming prize that her dad makes that
Yeah.
joke?
That is pretty
And he is a
great. That is
doctor.
pretty
I
great.
mean-
What kind of doctor?
He's a family doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How's that different than a different kind of any other doctor? I don't know anything about doctor. I just
It's
think they're
like
the same.
it's like general. It's like
General practice.
Yeah.
When you have like your doctor, that's who you go see.
It's my dad. My dad is your doctor, basically.
He's my doctor.
Your dad is my doctor.
Yeah.
I do need a doctor,
Me same.
but not in Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, true.
He works at the University of Cincinnati, which is the college that I went to. So I got free tuition. Ayo.
Nice,
Good
nice.
thing, because I'm not using my degree one bit. So
What was your
Nobody
degree in?
does.
social work.
Nice.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing a poor job of that.
I guess I'm helping people.
True.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's
your
I guess
songs.
that's what
Yeah,
I wanted
from
to
a
do.
mental standpoint,
Majesty
from a-
of song.
Yeah.
Speaking of the majesty of song, we
Ooh,
should
good
play your second song.
Okay, let's play it. Here it goes. This one. This is my next song. It's called "I Don't Know What I Want."
You looked over, how are you so looked over? So I slid on over, put my head on your shoulder. I was hoping that you would notice me forever till it happened. And now I finally know better. It took 7 tries, it happens all the time. I start to wonder why, I wonder why it was a simple mistake. I thought of it for days. I always get this way, I am this way. Put you first, I've learned to wait in line. I promise I don't mind. Are you sure you asked twice? Never take the opportunity. Keep it quiet, keep it real low. Tell myself I'm fond of it when I don't like the thought of it. What if I'm wrong? Ooh, what if I'm not? Think I know that you're better off gone. Maybe it's time for me to go home, but I don't know what I want. You said goodbye about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. It doesn't feel right. They always let me out alive. They always let me out alive. What if I'm wrong? Ooh, think about it? What if I'm wrong? Ooh, what if I'm not? Oh, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. Don't even think about it. I don't know what I want. And what if I'm wrong? What if I'm not? I don't know what I want. Don't even think about it. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. Maybe I never did. I just keep trying it, hoping it'll stick.
And we're back.
And we're back.
So back.
Just like that, we're so back.
Okay. Now, how do you spell that song? Because you
That song is spelled in all caps IDK what I want.
nice
I just thought it was fun.
with
Yeah.
Do it that way.
9 A's.
With 9,
Just
no,
kidding.
just with 1 A.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so when does that release on the Spotify?
That'll be out March 9th. So
March 9th.
pretty
Okay.
soon.
So about a week and a half after this
Yeah.
show
Yes.
comes out.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go listen to it.
Yeah.
Do you do pre-saves?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
So go to Abby's Instagram.
Yes.
And get the pre-save link, which will
Yes.
probably be your link in bio or
Yep.
on your link tree.
Yeah, you
And
already know.
Nailed it.
Pre-save it.
Yep.
And here's why, you guys, you want to pre-save an artist thing to help them, because what it does is it sends a little subtle signal to Spotify that people are interested in the song,
Yeah.
which tips the scales in their favor for
Yes.
them to look at it and go, oh, a lot of people want to pre-save this. Maybe we should put this song on a curated playlist.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is it makes it auto-populate into your Discover Weekly.
Yes.
And those are really good things for artists hitting numbers. So
Yes. Totally.
so check that out.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that song all about?
It's pretty much like
Is it gonna be sad again?
they're all sad in some way, but
Yeah.
me saying I don't know what I want. In general, I'm a pretty indecisive person.
Mm-hmm.
Not that that's a bad thing, but I feel like that song was written about a situation that I feel like pretty far removed from at this point, but I feel like a few of my songs are about this similar feeling of like I am having trouble navigating a romantic relationship, in the sense of like the person that I'm with seems to be so ready and into me and like committed, and I'm just like, what? You know?
Now, that being said, you did just get married.
I am, which is the thing. I'm married now, so obviously, like,
You're all, my husband seems to be into me
Yeah.
and committed, and this is
so
weird.
weird.
my husband is like really into me, and I'm just not sure what to do. No, but like that's the thing. It's like it's weird because I am like no longer dealing with that problem, but this song is about to come out, and even when I wrote it, I was like pretty far removed from it. But it's pretty much just like looking at situations like that, noticing how I would like fall into that pattern and like struggle with being able to like fully listen to my own intuition. Like I would be in a situation like that and think maybe I just need to like stick it out. Like maybe
Yeah.
how are you supposed to know? Like
yeah,
until you're in that for a certain amount of time. Like another one of my songs called Better By Now is also about that. It's like, I think I love you, but like, I don't love you enough almost. Like, I don't think it's enough for this to be like sustainable in the long run. So that's
Yeah.
pretty much what it's about. And it's like this chaotic, like, I mean, I know I just played it like acoustic, but it is, the full version of the song is very chaotic, and there's a lot of like silence and then really loud parts, and it's just like the overwhelming thoughts of like, I don't know what I want.
Yeah.
Like, I
There's
don't.
like this super cool aggressive tone
Yes.
that comes through.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
yeah.
like
Are there random strings that play sometimes correctly and sometimes poorly?
No, that was a fluke.
yes. Yeah, it's just like, it's also a song that I wrote in like 30 minutes. Like the lyrics
Really?
were written
Wow.
extremely fast. I feel like the most like,
You were
Just-
very decisive about writing your indecisive song.
right. Yeah. It was just like stream of consciousness. Like the words are me just saying like, this is how I fell into this situation. And now I'm having this like panic attack, basically. Like, what if I'm wrong about you? But then what if I'm not? Like these two different sides of me that are like, this outcome, it could end in like these two different ways. And how am I supposed to know what's right? Like just having a hard time like trusting my instincts, which I feel kind of far removed from, but in some ways is still true to like my life. Yeah. Just being
Yeah.
an indecisive person in general.
So like I definitely relate to that. I relate on one hand. I feel like I've dated girls who were like that, where I was the one who was all in, and they
Yeah.
were like, I don't know. But also I can remember being in relationships where I'm like, I think maybe I just need to stick it out. Like I can
Yeah.
relate to your side of it.
Yeah.
Like how are you supposed to know? Maybe you just need to stick this out and it's going to be good in the end.
You know the secret is you don't know. And even when you think you know and you marry someone, you don't know, and
It's
you just have to
true.
make a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. That's something you never have to think about when you're dating.
And
But, like,
that's
I've been
what's
married a
hard
minute.
is like, even when you get married, even when you settle down, it's constantly a choice of like choosing that other person.
Yeah.
But when you're dating, it's like, am I like looking at this guy and I don't feel like I'm that into him, but I just need to be like, but I need to choose you. And it's like, no, like I need to know
Right.
the like fundamental difference between like, oh, this is someone that I like would go through anything with, you know, like this is the person that I want to go through like the worst days with, versus I can't even really gauge like how I feel about you, you know? And so getting to that point where like most of my like dating relationships were just like being like, yeah, I'm into you, you're into me, let's try this thing out. It lasts a few months, and then they like, for whatever reason, the guy that I was with was just like more committed than I was, and I was just like really not ready. So I almost viewed that as like, maybe I have commitment issues, kind of just like blaming it on myself, like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe I just like am so afraid of this. And then I met Seth, and it was like I wasn't afraid of anything. Like it
a great
took
sign.
just like the right person for me to know like, oh, this is like what it's supposed to feel like. And
Yeah.
I had no way of knowing that besides like what people would tell me. And what people would tell me is like, you'll know when you know. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't know if I even trust myself. But then like, it did just
trust
it
myself
took that
with
loving you. So many John Mayer references.
Now I will say, so I've been married. I've been married a while.
Yeah.
7 years.
I've been
7
married like
years.
a month and a half, so like I know so much.
And I'll tell you,
Shut up, old man. You know nothing.
all the shit that people tell you about being married is correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of it.
All of it.
100%.
Oh, I mean,
All of it.
I mean, depends on who you've heard, but
Right.
but that what you're talking about is definitely like not an issue if you've made the right choice.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean sometimes you're
Right.
just not like,
Yes.
Yeah. But did I make the right decision? And then you realize you did, and that's how you know it
Yes.
it went well.
Totally.
But
Yeah.
You feel like you made the right decision?
I do, even though your wife is a straight up psycho.
My wife? You
My
just
wife,
said even
your
though
sister,
your wife.
my wife,
Oh, no.
your sister. We're getting real Alabama. But
Yes.
but it is a thing you have to constantly be thinking, kind of struggling with.
Totally.
Not that exact thing, but things
Yeah.
adjacent to it.
Yes.
That
I
you're-
feel like, and again, yeah, I'm literally a month and a half in, so I feel like I can't even talk
It
about
starts right away, though.
But yeah,
Let's
it's
be
like
real.
it's like from the moment that I was telling you earlier, like my relationship with Seth like moved so fast, and to me it was like in a lot of ways a foreign thing, because most of my relationships I felt like I was like dragging behind. Like these guys were just like, let's go, and I'm like, I don't even know how I feel about you in general. Like I'm still trying to figure that out. And then with Seth, it was just like we were on the same page from the beginning. Like, I love you, you know, just like it being this crazy thing. And so when you go from that and like these high highs to like, okay, and now we're like settling down together, you know, like we moved in together in July of last year. And I feel like in a lot of ways that was a bigger transition than like getting married is, because it's like once you like start living together, that's just like
Makes everything hard, don't it?
yeah, it's like this
Because
is
like
this is what
everything
it's
that
gonna
he
be.
does is the worst, isn't it? It's just the fucking worst.
And vice versa.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like it's
Because
just
they're not you.
Yeah, and it's a glimpse into like this is what you're signing up for. You know, like this is just noticing. I think when we first got together, it was like, oh, we're so similar. Like your sense of humor is like so much like mine. We're into the same things, and then we moved in together, and very quickly, and even before then, could see like personality differences, and like I in general am like more slow and like indecisive in some ways, and he is just like a go-getter, always knows what he wants, like can just move quicker in those ways. And so
You don't think about that when you're dating, though. You don't think
no.
about that being a
Yeah.
fundamental part of how you are
yes,
as a person.
yes,
But it is.
right,
And it affects small daily things.
totally. Like we could even see that in like moving in together, you know, like how we would set up our house, and like he was just like, let's set it all up immediately, and like this is where everything's gonna go, and I'm just like, all right, cool, like yeah, we'll do that, you know. And it took time to realize like, oh, these are, you know, differences in how we are. But even then, it's like there has never, and again, I'm so early in, but it's like I don't have any doubts that like you are the person I want to be with forever. It's just like, oh, now we continue to learn how to be with each other, and we will forever.
Right.
You know, it'll
But you
always
hit
be
the
changing.
important thing. You hit the
Yeah.
important bit of life. Your
Yes.
is you realize this is different than what has happened before.
Yes.
This is different, and this
Yep.
is right.
Yeah. And in so many ways, like learning to trust myself more. Like I feel like in a lot of those other relationships, I was just like, I don't know what I want. Like the title of
Right.
that song, I do not know what I want. And then as soon as I figured out, oh, this is it, it's like the anxiety that was surrounding all of those other scenarios. Like I haven't experienced that at all. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the problems I'm dealing with now are like actually real problems versus like,
Yeah.
I just don't even know if we can connect, you know? It's like
Right.
completely different. So,
And
yeah.
a lot of unmarried people like don't know that. And I don't know if it's been so I'm not trying to call you out specifically, right? This is broader than that.
Some unmarried people.
this guy.
But like you do hit this specific thing. And whatever that thing is, whatever that almost unquantifiable thing is,
yeah.
like it's hard to explain to people who are dating. I feel like, I mean, granted, I'm 7 years removed from dating. So, but it's like it's a different thing that you're like, oh, this is right, and
Yeah.
everything else before was wrong.
Yeah.
And even though this is, it's not easy. Mm-hmm. We've probably already ran into it. It's not easy,
Right. Yeah.
but you just kind of know when it's the right. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that there is a thing.
Yeah. I didn't. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't believe that, like my parents, I don't remember if Seth said this, but my parents met on an airplane. Yeah. It's like, what the hell? That's just like, they set me up to like be expecting the most. Like,
Right?
you meet in the
let me
sky?
let me tell you how
What?
I remember your parents met. Okay,
Tell me how you remember my parents
Mike
met.
It's
Holiday.
a weird sentence.
Mike Holiday was on an airplane,
Yes.
sitting next to Holly, maiden name here, and
Did Seth tell the whole story? 'Cause
Yeah, he
damn,
did.
Damn.
Yeah.
Such
sitting
a good
there
story.
sitting there with
God
Holly,
damn it, Seth. Save it for her.
and then as he introduced himself, oh hi, I'm Mike Holiday. She inside her head thought
Yeah.
that would be really funny if we got married
Yes.
because then I'd be Holly Holiday.
Yes.
Which is a
And
straight
lo
up
and
Marvel
behold-
comic name.
Okay, I need to tell you, is that all you remember?
That's what I recall.
So, yeah.
Okay, and now that you're saying that, I remember Seth saying that when I listened. I'm going to give you a little bit more of
Yes.
the
Oh,
story
yeah.
because
Give me the- give me the deets.
rest of the
it's
story.
so cool and crazy. And yeah, because my parents met in this way, I feel like it's like a movie how they met, and I feel like I was anticipating like I'm just like waiting for this kind of thing to happen to me, and in some ways I feel like it is like a movie, but so my dad was like coming home from a trip. Her mom, my grandma who just recently passed away, was engaged to someone at the time who passed away while they were engaged. So sad.
Ooh, that's
and
rough.
they were flying home from that funeral. So my mom and her mom were flying home from that. My dad was flying home from something else. And the way that they explain it is like it was a very strange flight. It was like storming, and so they were waiting on the plane like kind of for the storm to pass, just like waiting for a while. The plane was like kind of empty, not a lot of people. And my dad was like sitting here, my mom was sitting here. And
Wait,
this-
I'm seeing, and for the audio only listeners, it's
oh
a good
yeah,
time to
yes.
point out
Good
that
thinking.
if you go to Spotify or YouTube, you can
Yes.
see Abby's hands right now to
Yes.
know. But as me, somebody who can see right
Yes.
across, and for the audio only listeners, what does that mean?
It
are they
is
on
my-
opposite rows or are they
like,
next to each
there's
other?
the aisle. My
Ah.
dad is on the right side of the aisle. My mom is on the left side,
So-
a little bit behind
So
him.
next to each other with a gap.
Yes, next to each other with a gap.
Both
Mom is a
in
little bit
aisle
behind.
seats?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Which are the best
um,
seats, by the way.
They are.
Window's the best, and if
Well,
you
it
believe
depends.
otherwise, you're
Aisle's
wrong.
the best.
Okay, well, window because you get to sleep and you get to look out. Aisle because you get to go to
Get
the
up.
bathroom if you need
Thank
to.
you. That's what I do.
But-
I don't
Go
get
on.
up on planes.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I
Okay,
get
so
up.
anyways.
Yeah, sorry, go on, go on.
Before we go off on a
So-
30-minute
yeah.
tangent about airplane seating.
So the way that they explain it, they're like, it's storming. We're like waiting for a while. This plane is like weirdly so empty. All of a sudden, this, and we talked about religion earlier. We're going to get into religion a
Oh,
little
here we
bit.
go.
So they're sitting there and this guy walks onto the plane. And the way that my parents explained him is like this like freakishly tall dude, just like
Okay.
so tall. This guy walks on the plane, sits down next to my dad, and like in the seat right next to him,
In the middle.
and starts talking to him and just like asking him questions about his life. Enough for my mom to overhear a little bit about my dad,
Oh, wow.
to hear about like his life, what's
Got
going
a
on.
plane talker next to
all
him.
this stuff.
That's the worst.
This guy gets up.
and it was like everything she'd ever wanted.
Yes. This
Oh,
guy
shit.
gets up, goes to the front of the plane. They never see him again.
Wow.
An angel.
Who knows?
Or demon. I don't know.
Or
I
demon.
don't know how the story ends up. I don't know how the story ends up.
So,
it ends with her
Yeah,
existence.
we know.
So that happens.
Yeah.
Weird. And so it's enough for my mom to hear like a little bit about my dad. They end up talking, and she finds out his name is Mike Holliday, and I think she like actually laughed out loud because she was like, "What if my name was Holly Holiday?"
Yeah.
And she gave my dad her number, and my dad didn't call her for like 6 weeks.
Bro, what are you doing, Mike?
Which
Come
is
on.
just so my dad, just like very, very careful, very cautious. Also, just like had never. My mom was like kind of his first girlfriend. Like he hadn't dated a lot of people, and so he called. My mom was living with her parents at the time.
So wait, they didn't really talk on the plane? She just
they
gave
did.
him the number.
They did
Oh,
talk.
okay.
They talked for a while. They like hit it off, and I don't know if he asked for her number or what, but she gave it to him. 6 weeks later, my mom is living with her parents, and her dad is like, Mike from the airplane is calling, and she's like, "Oh, I thought he never would," you know.
Yeah.
And now
So-
I'm here.
The weird part about meeting on
Wow.
airplanes, though, is like you're going somewhere,
Yeah.
but you're not necessarily from the same place. Like someone might be going home.
Yes,
So
but they were from the
just
same place.
They actually were.
They were
okay.
both from Cincinnati.
That
yeah.
helps a lot. That helps a
Yeah.
lot.
Okay, wait. Talk to me
But
about
so
you mentioned
wild.
like you said like this goes into religion, and then you mentioned a little.
Well, they're an
yeah,
angel.
Talk to me.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
talk to
just
me.
like they, and I mean, even since that happened, I would say like both of my parents' beliefs and even mine have like, you know, gone all over the place.
Sure.
I don't really know a lot of what I believe right now, but
Time
like,
has passed. And
isn't that
things
weird?
have changed.
Isn't that weird that like this guy walked on the plane, sat down next to my dad for just long enough to get information out of him
Yeah.
for my mom to overhear it,
yeah,
and then
Like
they
if he
never
had
saw him
stayed
again.
in that seat, you wouldn't exist.
yeah. So what's like their theory on him? Do they have a theory on him, or do they go that deep? or what do
They are
think?
like, maybe he was an angel or something, and
Maybe
like,
he was an angel.
but they don't know. That's all they really say.
yeah.
It's just
Okay.
like weird.
That
I don't
is
know.
weird.
Isn't that weird?
That is
And they
weird because
said
like
the way
who
that
gets
they-
up and leaves their seat and doesn't come back?
That doesn't happen,
Right, like
Unless you just like lost where he was. But
Where'd
like
you
he
get a
literally
first-class
just
seat
sat
all of a
down
sudden?
next to my dad, had that convo,
I want to know what he looked
and
like.
disappeared.
Okay, in
they
my
said
head,
he looked like kind of weird and like kind of really tall.
He was really tall. Did he have
I
like
don't know.
1,000 eyes or
He had like 1,000 eyes.
I don't know why, and it's like, I don't know why, but like in my head,
Yeah.
he's African American.
Oh
and,
my
like,
God, me
very
too.
Nigerian.
I picture exactly the actor who plays, I don't remember his name, from Fringe, who
Okay.
he's a really tall, thin African or black guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember the actor's name. He's so good. Every time I've seen him in anything, he fucking crushes it.
yeah.
God. Okay, well, I'm not going to remember his name. Wesley, can you look it up? Actually, I forgot we have a Wesley. So the show
I
Fringe.
need to ask them again because I haven't
Yeah.
heard about it in so long. Like what I just remember them saying that he was like extremely tall, kind of
and,
he has a-
and
strange
take it,
looking.
and take it to further
I think
when
he's
you
like
talk to him.
like a
in
CIA
my
director,
head,
I think, or
in-
something.
Yeah.
Wesley.
I think we're thinking of the same guy.
Are we thinking of the
in
same
my
guy?
Head,
So funny.
In my head, he's thin, tall,
Yes.
black.
Yeah,
and
that
wearing
guy.
a
This is
brown
the
hat.
guy.
Yeah, that's the guy.
This is the guy I
That's the
imagined.
guy
Wait.
who introduced your parents.
Wait, bring him back. Bring him back.
Right,
He's
yeah.
in
He's in a
what is
bunch of
he
stuff.
also in?
Lance Reddick.
Is he in Lost actually?
Yes, he is
Yeah.
in Lost.
Yeah.
Yes.
This, by the way, if you don't, I didn't know his name, Lance Reddick, but he is phenomenal. Every time I've seen him in anything, he's phenomenal.
Maybe it was
he's
Lance
so good.
Reddick.
Maybe it was him.
Maybe it
That
literally
would be
was
the
Can
Lance
we-
Reddick.
greatest day of our lives.
If you listen to the show, please tweet Lance Reddick. No.
in my in our imaginations, Lance Reddick introduced your parents, and he is an angel.
I sure hope so.
Also,
That
I
would
saw
make
him in a brown,
everything awesome.
like patterned hat from like a very
All right,
kind
you've
of a
lost me. I
retro
don't know
look.
what you mean. I don't know what you mean at all.
Like a 60s businessman suit where it's like all brown.
Sure,
I'm
sure,
talking
sure.
about-
I'm kind of getting that
A
vibe
hat.
too, but not a hat.
I don't
is
know the
what I've
hat.
been picturing.
Yeah,
Not
the
seeing
hat's hard.
No.
Okay, I've been saying the hat the whole time.
I need to
You're
ask
gonna have to
them.
ask your. I wish.
I'll
Can we
report
call them?
back.
Do we have a phone call?
Do we have it? Can we connect? No, it's like yeah.
Well, anyway, it's an
So,
incredible story.
Yeah, it's.
And so there
That
was
is
a
an
very cool
incredible
story.
story.
I feel like because of that, I had high standards. You know? Like, what is that?
Ooh,
That is like you
interesting.
meet your lover
How'd you meet Seth?
in the sky. I met Seth 10 days after I moved to Nashville.
So not in the sky.
Not in the sky, on the ground, but still,
Talk to us about the
Great.
ladybugs.
yes.
Yes. Okay,
Oh,
I have to
right.
say,
I told you about that
you know about
earlier.
this?
Huh?
Did he talk about this?
Yeah, well, that sounded immediately vaguely familiar, so I'm going to go with
Seth-
yes.
So
Yeah.
so after our episode with Seth, I reached out to him and was like, "Okay, we got to have Abby on. So,
Yeah.
can you send me your contact or whatever?" And he just shared his contact with me.
Yes.
And so I saved it. So in my phone, Abby has a ladybug next to her name.
Yes.
Oh,
And an emoji. And so I was talking to her right before the show, and I was like, "Is it weird that I have the ladybug? Is that like super personal or weird?"
Yeah, you should delete that shit.
But
Yeah,
and
that's
so
like
she
only for Seth and I.
So yeah, tell us the ladybug story.
Yeah. So Seth and I, long story short, met 10 days after I moved here through Gabby, who you guys have met. She introduced us.
Hilarious.
She was like hosting a game night and
In honor of Gabby.
in honor.
Just
Yes. And so I mentioned earlier, my brother and I moved to town at the same time. So she invited my brother Luke and I to the game night. We show up, and Gabby is like telling the group of people around her, like, "Oh yeah, the holidays are coming." So Seth thought that my brother and I were married when he met us for the first time.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
we're like around the same age and moved together. So he
That's
thought we were married
hilarious.
until he realized we weren't.
Please tell me he like thought you were cute or something, but he's like, "Dang it, she's married."
He was actually with someone at the time, so it was
Okay.
like not even any
Wasn't a thing.
remote interest. Like I had also just gotten out of something recently before I moved, and I was like not looking to date at all. So, but it was funny, like talking about all of that later. But when we did start talking, which also is a funny story, my song "Better by Now," which is about not being in love with someone, I was doing the photo shoot for it and needed a guy to be in the photo, and I shot that like a few weeks after moving to Nashville. And I was like, who do I know that would do this? Like, I knew some guys here, but like some of them were like a little bit older than me. I was just trying to find someone that would like be good for this album art. And I was like, oh, Seth would be great for it. Like, I'd only met him one time, but I was like, I feel like he would be down to do this. And like my brother was shooting the photo. And so I texted him. I was like, hey, would you be down to do this? And he was like no longer with the person that he was with. So he was single, which I like didn't really know until he told me. So the cover of Better by Now, which is about me not loving someone, my
with
now
Seth?
husband is like the half face that's in that photo.
That's amazing.
Which is crazy. And so we just like hung out a few times. We're just like getting to know each other as friends. And then I was in Cincinnati for a while he was in Nashville, and he texted me one day, just like a picture of, he was like at a park and a few ladybugs had like landed on him, and it was just like, oh, look at this is super cool. And then a few days later, I was playing at a friend's wedding. I was like singing and playing guitar at their wedding, and as soon as I finished my set, I looked down and there was a ladybug on my guitar and on me. And it was just like this weird thing of, like, we were so early into talking. It wasn't even like we were dating, but we both just had this like strong feeling about each other that we were like kind of afraid to communicate. And that was just like this thing that kind of like felt like a sign between us. And then a few days later, came back to Nashville, moved into a different place. And him and a few of our friends like helped us move in. And
You know what that was, though?
what?
That was Lance Reddick.
That was Lance.
Stepping in, bringing the ladybugs.
It's always Lance.
Lance Reddick. I love that. Lance Reddick is in the background putting some ladybugs on things.
For the record, did I say the right name? That's right, right?
I
It's
think
Lance
that's
Reddick.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's him. He's coming through. You're
Dude,
angel.
He always
Lance
comes
Reddick.
through. He always comes through.
Is that the title of the episode? Your angel, Lance Reddick.
The title of the episode is just Lance Reddick.
He's gonna get some tweets. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
I do love a good title that you have to listen to the end to know what it means.
Yes, I do too. Ohio Laundry Room, same way. So then he helped me move in with some friends. Move into this new house. Guess what? There's like 20 ladybugs in the living room. And he like put them all
Lance.
over himself, and he was just like looking at me. And I was like, this is crazy, yo, the ladybugs. And
I don't know. These things seem to have no end.
and so that's the story. And now we got matching ladybug tattoos.
Oh, well, that is what I would call heladorbs.
And for
that's
those
so
of
good.
you listening and not watching, I'm pointing to my arm and there's a ladybug on it.
And for those of you listening and not watching, go to Spotify or YouTube and watch, you fool.
You gotta watch. You might as well.
Yeah.
Watching on Spotify being a new thing, that's kind of cool.
It is cool.
so
But I
cool.
will say, if you are watching on Spotify and then you go in your car and the Bluetooth
Danger?
picks it up,
Oh.
it stops the video.
Well, it should if
Really?
you're
Yeah,
driving.
it should, but I don't want it to. YouTube doesn't do that shit to me.
I don't know
Yeah.
that that's every car. Your car
You're
has
right.
some
It might
special
be
things.
Freaking Toyota trying to control my life.
Yeah.
I don't know
But-
because in my car I'm using, wait for it, AirPods.
Oh God.
This guy in the
And that's how he
AirPods.
died. But I know we are pretty much out of time here. But
Yes.
we do have one important question that we
Yes.
do ask every guest.
We
Okay. Oh gosh. Oh no. I'm scared.
There's no pressure for this question. It's not meant to
Not
be
at all.
serious.
I don't know why you'd feel any
It's
pressure.
not a dramatic thing. It's not dramatic at all. It's going to be very straightforward.
Okay. I'm chill.
A tremendously simple question.
But here's the deal.
Yeah.
If you had to choose, and you do.
Shut up! No!
What?
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? And you do.
And you
And
do.
you do. You have to choose.
Okay,
Just
just
to remind you
okay.
what this is about. Go on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do.
I'll stop the sound effect because
Yeah.
you need to explain a little bit.
You're
about
right.
what
You
mean.
need a little context. You need a little
Yeah,
context.
thank
I
you.
need some context.
So, here's the deal with the question.
Yeah, explain a bit.
I need you to answer this question, not from here.
Oh.
Oh, and as you recall, we were talking to the podcast listeners, audio only.
Yeah, he's pointing to his head right
Thank
now.
you.
He's
Thank
pointing to
you
his
for-
brain.
I appreciate you
Yeah,
explaining that.
yeah.
Thank you.
It must come from here.
The heart is what he's pointing to.
That's correct.
Yeah,
That's
and
correct.
his heart more specifically. Yeah,
But anybody's heart is fine.
Okay.
your heart is what he's actually talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do. Now, what that actually means, coming from your heart, not your head, is I need to answer quickly.
Oh.
I don't want you to think about it.
Like
Okay.
instantly.
What's the question?
I want whatever the
Remember how-
answer
you know
that
how
is
you're
deep in your soul.
You know how you're kind of indecisive as a person?
Yeah.
That's going to end now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
over.
All right.
We're done with that.
I want the answer.
You chose
like that.
a person to be married to forever. You can choose this.
Okay. I'm not
Yeah.
scared. I'm not scared.
Yeah. If you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do.
Does it always go on for this long?
Yeah, no, even
It really
mostly
does.
longer.
Okay.
What would you say is your favorite kind of turtle?
A tortoise.
That was the question of Abby's heart.
Well, actually,
Tortoise?
actually, I
not
changed my
even a
mind. I was
turtle.
too scared. It's a snapping turtle.
Okay.
Those things are cool
Snapping
and
are
scary.
cool. What did Seth say? Do we
Okay.
remember Seth's answer? I wonder if
Off
it's the
the top of
same
my head,
turtle.
no.
I wonder if it's the same turtle. That's good. You're goddamn
says-
right, Wesley. A tortoise is not a
Sorry,
turtle.
I got scared.
That's right. We've
New
gotten tortoise
episode
before.
name, a tortoise is not a turtle.
We've gotten tortoise before. It's okay.
Like,
It's okay.
How am I supposed to? what are even the types of turtles besides snapping
Look,
and
for us,
tortoise?
That's your job.
That's what you got? Snapping and tortoise? What about box?
Oh,
What about sea turtle?
That's right. I forgot about those. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I can't name that many.
Yeah.
But
We'll look later to see what Seth's was. I'm
really
totally
curious now.
forget.
Yeah,
Totally
I'm
forget.
curious.
Okay,
That's
so-
why I asked if you listened to the whole thing at the beginning, because I wanted to know if you had
definitely
heard
did
the
not.
question.
Yeah, I had heard
Okay.
a lot of it, but yeah,
To
I
be
didn't
fair,
get that far.
a lot of people we have on the show tell us they've listened to a whole episode, and I was like, no, you haven't. And no one
you
has
don't
ever
know.
known the turtle question, not one
Wow.
time.
Wow.
No, one person I'm pretty sure did was Dylan.
Oh, I
you
think
did?
you're right.
Grantham, aka Young Ritual.
Yeah.
As we were doing the question, I was like, wait, because he had said he had listened to Michiganders, and I was like,
Types of turtles.
Wesley's brought up the types of turtles.
Oh, shit,
The eastern
there's
mud
so
turtle.
I think
not
there's
one
way
person.
more.
No one has said Rio Grande.
Okay, we have gotten
cooter
painted.
turtle.
We have gotten painted before. Snapping.
We've never gotten pond.
We've gotten
feel bad.
sea.
I
We've
feel
gotten
bad.
ninja
You know-
turtle.
I feel
Maybe
bad
this
that I don't know
question
that
is
many
stupid
types.
because look how many turtles there are that have never been said. Leatherback sea turtle. That seems like low hanging fruit.
where
Bog
is
turtle?
the turtle education?
Seriously,
Yeah.
we need a change in this
The
country.
Mississippi map turtle.
We do
So
need to
so
change.
Dylan, as it was one of my favorite moments as we were doing the whole build up with Dylan. I was
Yeah.
like, wait a second, did you get far enough to know the question? And he's like, no, just do it. Just do it. I want it. I want it. Just do it. Just do it.
I want it. That's right.
I could tell he knew.
He knew
but
it.
he wanted this experience for himself.
Yeah, because as
Was
you've seen,
So
we make it a
funny.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So jury usually says the first thing you said is what's really in your heart. So that would be the
Which is
tortoise.
true.
And then you corrected with
Yeah.
snapping.
You like the land turtle.
So talk to us here.
Well, I remember. Okay, now I'm worried I'm gonna get it wrong.
There's nothing wrong.
Snapping
there's no
turtles.
wrong.
Where do they be living?
Around.
Anywhere.
They're around.
Ponds.
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
The
Okay,
water.
that's what I thought.
Yeah,
so
they're real dangerous.
when I was a younger child, there's this like nature center that my family and I would go to all the time, and there was a snapping turtle. If I'm right, I think it was that. It
Now
was,
you're doubting
it was
yourself.
Big. It was big, and it was like this rare occurrence that you would see it. And whenever I did see it, it was awesome,
Yeah.
and it was big. I think it was a snapping turtle.
How big are we talking? Give me an arm measurement.
For those of you that are audio only, I'm putting my arms in a circle right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that. I feel like snapping turtles
would-
get about that big.
I would
yeah.
say that's a circumference of 6 feet.
6 feet. Oh, circumference.
Circumference.
Oh, okay,
Circumference.
okay.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
radius of about
a foot.
8 inches.
Yeah, less. Yeah.
Yeah.
But a diameter of like 20 inches.
Right. And the circumference. What is that? Pi r squared. Right. 8 inches. Pi r squared.
Gets you
With
the
R
area.
being the 8.
Yeah.
Gets you the air. That's the area or the circumference.
As somebody who shipped things with FedEx today, I can say with absolute certainty that the distance she was describing was 18 inches. And so
$50 worth of bubble wrap.
yeah, Jesus.
At least.
No. Bro, I went today. I had to ship something.
So wait, hold on. Do you have a bubble wrap story?
He does.
I have
yeah.
a very important bubble wrap story.
Is this what we've sunk into on the show? Bubble wrap stories?
And now I have a very important bubble wrap
I
story.
haven't gotten to press many of these.
You
Please
should.
press more.
That's the
The
dead
grayed
one.
out ones are dead.
And that's appropriate for considering you just pressed the grayed out one.
I'm on a horse.
Anyways.
So
We got
thing
rid of a
is-
lot of the best ones.
Sorry.
Not gonna lie. Yeah,
And
sorry.
I went so right before the show, I had to go ship a tape machine on eBay to a buyer who bought on eBay, and whilst at the USPS store, I just went in as I do, and I bought a box, and I just grabbed some of their bubble wrap.
Sure.
And the bubble wrap said, and I quote, $10. In fact, it said $9.99. And I grabbed the bubble wrap, and it turns out, unfortunately, I had to use 2 rolls of it. I was very sad. I'm like, shit, $20 of bubble wrap. That's crazy.
So expensive.
But it's what I had to do to ship the thing I had to ship.
Yeah.
It was a whole nightmare situation, but got the stuff. And so anyway, the guy who was ringing me up did not see that I grabbed the bubble wrap, and he did not charge me for the bubble wrap. He did not charge me, and so in my head, I was like, wait a second.
Free
This
bubble
is
wrap.
kind of, yeah. I was like, wait, is this stealing? No, it's free bubble wrap. And then I thought, you know what? I'm paying, this shipping is so expensive that I should just, whatever. I'm paying them a lot of money. Why do I need to pay for the bubble wrap? It's his fault that he didn't think of it. And then I thought about it, not from your head, from your heart. And so then I thought about it and I was like, wait, this guy wasn't even out here when I got the bubble wrap.
Sure.
It is my job to let them know that I use some of their bubble wrap and pay for it. Like, my first instinct was like, it's not stealing. He didn't think of it. And my second instinct was, wait a minute. It's stealing if I don't tell him I use the bubble wrap. I'm
Yeah.
taking their product, not paying for it. I need to pay for it. And you know what? My honor and integrity is not worth $20.
Sure it is.
So I'm going to pay these $20 even though he's not asking me to. And so
Wow.
I said, I'm like, hey, did you, and I didn't want to sound like I was trying to be sneaky. So I was just like, oh, did you charge me for the bubble wrap? And he's like, oh, sorry about that. I didn't see that, which I felt bad because it's not his fault. He wasn't there. But I'm like, okay, great. So then he goes to ring me up for the bubble wrap and he's like, thanks for being honest. And I'm like, you know what? I did choose the right thing here.
Wow. What a
But
good guy,
But
Ryan.
guess what happened?
Huh.
The bubble wrap was goddamn $50.
Well, I thought it was $10 a pop.
50
Yeah.
fucking
Right.
dollars for bubble wrap.
But did you show that the advertised price was
did.
$9.99?
I
did.
sure did. Yeah, I told Abby
did.
right when I got here.
And
I
they
was so
said,
mad.
"Oh, that's wrong." Actually,
Yes.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And you can fight that
I
shit.
know, and I
in the
probably
moment, you should have fought it and been like,
I
no,
did.
your
Don't
advertised
worry.
price is this. And
Don't worry, Jerry.
charging anything else is a massive crime.
I did. So here's what happened. So it's $50, and I'm like, whoa, $50.
I've never been so riled about bubble wrap in
Thank
my
you.
life.
So it's $50, right? And I'm like, wait, it's $50? And he's like, yeah, sorry, it's kind of expensive. And I was like, well, it says $10 right there. And he goes, oh, that's the wrong price.
Oh, well, then you
That's
better
the wrong
charge me that
placard.
price.
He's like, yeah, it's actually $25 a roll. And I was like, dude, that's robbery. Those would be $8 on Amazon.
yeah.
Or less.
I actually said 3, but I was like, that's crazy. And he's like, yeah, we actually all hate that product because it's too much. We're trying to get it out of the store. He's like, yeah, sorry. And so here's the thing. I was late coming to the podcast to Abby was already on her way when this happened. And this whole entire, I won't tell you the whole story, but this entire UPS, this entire UPS journey was way too long already and way overburdened. And this guy had been very helpful to me. He was really good at his job.
So you let it go.
And so I said, look, this is robbery, but you've been very helpful to me, and I know you didn't set the price, so I'm not going to give you a hard time about it. Thank you for your help. And then I paid and I left. And if I wasn't in
Good guy,
such a
Ryan.
hurry, if I wasn't
Yeah.
so frustrated, if I hadn't fucking hit my leg with the goddamn 60-pound tape machine on the way in, if I hadn't had to park across the street and walk all of this shit across, dude, okay, here's some shit. And I know we need to end, but I just have to say
How
this.
much time do we
I just have to say
We're like 20 minutes over at this point.
it's fine. I was coming into the UPS store knowing I had many heavy things, and I was going to park in a spot, but every spot was taken, and so I very frustratingly parked across the street. Right. Well, as I came out to get my second item from all of the trips I had to take to get all my things into the store, a spot had opened up, and I was like, "Great! This 60-pound metal clunky thing I have to carry. Now I can park in this spot and just walk it in."
Yeah.
And so I get in my car and I see in my rearview mirror a car driving very fast down the street. And I'm like, okay, this crazy person, I'm not going to pull in front of them. I'll wait for them to pass. Guess what happened?
They stole your goddamn spot.
They stole my spot. I can't tell you how mad I was. I grabbed the
Sucks.
thing and hit myself in the leg. It was hell. So all this to say, don't go to the UPS store on Belmont because they charge.
That one is the fucking worst. And anytime you try to goddamn park anywhere there, they come out and they're like, you can't park here. You can't park here. I'm like, I'm going to park here. I'm just walking in something. I'm parking right fucking here. And then they go complain.
$20 for cardboard.
Fuck you,
and
Belmont
$50
Post
for
Office.
bubble wrap. I paid $70 for packing supplies.
Yeah, we go there a lot. It's the worst.
I will never go there
Yeah,
again.
fuck that place. If you have to deliver a package in Nashville, do not go to the one at Belmont.
12 South.
Jesus Christ.
I will
But the
not
people
go
who work
there.
there are very nice. It's
They weren't
not
nice
their
to me.
fault.
They weren't nice to me, Ryan.
My guy was nice.
Some of them are nice.
Anyways,
Some
I've had a lot of whiskey, so I'm getting way more aggressive than I should be about this.
Anyway, the point is Abby Holliday is a music artist.
Yeah. Speaking of which, where can all the people find you? Not your address, as we have
Oh,
learned.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
hold
yes,
on.
yes, yes. You can find me at...
What? Go ahead.
Just kidding.
My name is Abby Holliday. 2 L's in Holiday. So if you search that on any music platform, you can find me there.
And you'll find tremendous music.
Yes, tremendous amounts of music, and hopefully you like it. And my Instagram is the same. A lot of my social media is just around that. So yeah, look it up. Give me
Make
a
sure
follow.
to check
Say
out
hey.
Abby Holiday on all the things.
March
Spotify,
9th is your new song?
March
Facebook,
9th, yes. Yeah.
Snapchat, Instagram,
All of it.
Zynga,
I don't even
MySpace.
know. What is Zenga?
Live Journal.
Same. Yeah, he's crazy. He loves
Be
this thing.
real.
Yeah,
And-
I'm on Be Real.
Hell
sure.
Yeah. You know what? I've been ignoring its prompts for the last 3 months.
As has everybody. It's a
Yeah.
dying app that never should have blown up to begin with.
Yeah.
But
That's
if
true.
you are in a city that's in Wesley likes it. If you are in a city that's in America in the month of March, you should go see
Yes.
Abby Holiday
Or in
and
the month of
Michigander.
April.
Yeah.
The month of April.
April
yeah.
as well.
March and
Yeah.
April.
Yeah, what are your
Can you
tour
throw out a
dates?
few? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I
March-
assume we can't recite them all,
I
but
cannot.
throw out
Wesley,
some,
pull them up on the screen.
some highlights. Oh, yeah.
Michigander and Abby Holiday.
It's on my Instagram and Michiganders. March 25th through April 29th, we are going to so many cities. Probably more than 20 shows.
Yeah,
so,
all the cities.
All of the cities.
All
San
the
Diego,
cities.
LA, Phoenix. These
Columbus,
are just some of the cities.
New York, Detroit,
Timbuktu.
Salt Lake City, Timbuktu.
That's a real city. Those people are going to be
SLC.
disappointed if you don't go there now.
You'll find them.
Let me ask a question. Are you going to Minneapolis?
Yeah.
See?
Oh,
It's
shit.
every city.
I'm pretty
That's
sure.
so
Oh,
many.
there's the
That-
list.
that
That's
art's really
way
cool.
too small for us to be able to see from here.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
But that is a
March
lot
26th,
of
Waco,
cities.
Phoenix, San Diego,
Atlanta,
Los Angeles,
Nashville,
Berkeley. Oh, fun.
Washington,
Portland,
D.C.,
Seattle, Boise, Salt Lake, Boulder,
Chicago.
Kansas
Oh, Boise.
City,
My aunt lives there. I
St.
should tell
Paul,
her.
Chicago. Oh, my girlfriend's from Chicago.
Ooh.
Detroit,
Yeah.
Cleveland, Washington, D.C., New York, Boston. Now I'm reading the ones you did. Philadelphia, Columbia, Atlanta, and ending in Nashville on April 29th.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Seth is Moony. Can't wait, says Instagram.
He did comment.
5
yes.
stars.
Yes.
So
But anyways, guys, make sure to check out Abby Holiday on all the things. But as always, you guys are awesome. And we'll see y'all next time.
The same time for the 3rd day this week. Maybe this'll be the one where my feelings change. Your hand in mine in the passenger seat, convincing you that it'll stay the same, but it won't stay the same. 'Cause I don't feel it. I was hoping you could help me get where you are, fix where I'm not, but it's not like that. I don't wanna fight the feeling, should this be easy? Do I even love you? I think I love you, but I should love you better by now. I should love you better by now. I should have figured it all out. I don't need you as much as I need to, and I don't miss you enough when you're not around. If I love you better by now, I don't think I'll ever know how. They say when you know well. Maybe I don't know myself. I'll admit that saw you driving around with somebody else. It's so selfish that I don't want the consequence. But how come when I tell you I love you, I say it under my breath, like there's a secret that I'm keeping from myself. Do I even love you? I think I love you, but I should love you better by now. I should love you better by now. I should have figured it all out. I don't need you as much as I need to, and I don't miss you enough when you're not around. If I don't love you better by now, I don't think I'll ever know how. I don't think I'll ever know how. If I don't love you better by now, I don't think I'll ever know how. It won't stand the test of time. I know it, I know it, I know it. You say give it one more try, but what's the point if I know it, I know it? It won't stand the test of time. I know it, I know it, I know it. You say give it one more try. You don't know how hard I've been trying. Do I even love you? I think I loved you, but I should love you better by now. I should love you better by now. I should have figured it all out. I don't need you as much as I need to, and I don't miss you enough when you're not around. If I don't love you better by now, I don't think I'll ever know how. If I don't love you better by now, I don't think I'll ever know how. You should drop me off in my house. If I don't love you better by now.